Welcome back to the grim darkness of the 41st Millennium. I'm Inquisitor Temperance Pryce, keeper of the Inquisition's Black Library, and this is the second volume in a report on the Valentyne Heresy, an actual play podcast set in the Genesys Adaptation of Warhammer 40k's Dark Heresy RPG. This report features Game Master Ryan LaPlante and players Tom McGee as Interrogator Nero Abagnale, Laura Elizabeth as Piper Fairley, Tyler Hewitt as Seth Corbyn, and Borovic as Sister Olianne Mina. My report shows that Olianne and Nero fought valiantly and survived the first wave of combat. Seth honored the deal with Skullshield and convinced Pedes Foetidum to bet all of Skullshield's 100 million thrones on the fight, while Piper sat in frustration, hesitant to use her psyker abilities amongst potential cultist threats. Will the valiant gladiators survive the next wave, this time against Arco-Flagellants? Find out next, in this episode of the Valentyne Heresy.
Do you recall that old Terran saying about plans and enemies? No plan, however brilliant, survives contact with the enemy. A wise commander factors such failures into his preparations. From the personal musings of Fabius Bile. You were all in the arena, in the midst of the gladiator games on the first day of determining the new governor of the Artis system. Two of you are in the stands. Seth, you are waiting to hear from Pedes Foetidum about your offer to bet 100 million thrones, I think, was the number. It was really high.
Yep, it was 100 million thrones.
Thrones on a game that you have sort of rigged, but not entirely. And Piper, you are scared to use your powers, but watching death matches in a very uncomfortable way, with Warden providing his usual role of being human furniture that is both strong and silent. Meanwhile, in the arena, alongside two of Nero's Skullshields, for lack of a better term, Skullshields, Mina and Nero, you are both ready for action, at which point two Arco-Flagellants burst out of the opposite end of the arena with chain blades for arms. Not their entire arms, just above the elbow, through to the hands and beyond. And you actually see as they race towards you that they are spinning, rotating on the stump. So these are very, very dangerous, very, very capable. Because they are much faster than the animals that came out in the first round, I will need a quick initiative. So either Vigilance or Cool, depending on the way you think your character would go. Vigilance is general combat awareness. Cool is kind of reacting in an effective manner. With difficulty 0, I just want to know what the scores are.
I got 1 success, 5 advantages.
Nice.
All right, 1 second. I know I have a skill for this, and I'm just trying to find it. It's been a hot second.
Good first roll, though. Good first roll.
Good first roll. Yeah,
Thanks.
High five.
Yep, and it's on Cool. So, if it matters.
That
just
means your gut reaction is pretty solid.
Maybe I don't. Maybe we got nothing. So let's do it. Roll with nothing. 1 success, 1 advantage for Nero.
All right. I am going to say, because the die rolls for the Arco-Flagellant heading for the two of you instead of your two Skullshields, who I think at this point are mildly panicking. This is way more than they're trained to deal with. Mina, you will be going first. Your snap reaction was the quickest. And Nero, you tied with the Arco-Flagellants, but because you have a ranged weapon and they don't, you will be acting first. I think they're coming towards you. You're waiting for them, so logically you would have the advantage there. So, Mina, the Skullshields are dealing with their Arco-Flagellant off to the side, but there is one that is clearly gunning towards you and Nero, who are standing together. What do you do?
Oh, yeah. She's definitely just going to get in between Nero and this thing and run towards it as it's running towards her. And with her shield out, she's going to just run into melee combat with it.
Nice. The never-ending, always charging Imperial religion, as it should be. Are you striking with both weapons? Are you striking with one this time? What's your intent?
Let's try to strike with both. So I think that adds a red to the difficulty.
Yes, it does. So okay. Your difficulty will be 2 purple, 1 red. You get to add 1 success automatically because the Arco-Flagellant is frenzied. You are hearing it just scream inside its helmet. It clearly can't see you, and it is just howling in a torn throat. It's been yelling for, a couple minutes before this started kind of scenario. I think that's it.
All right.
On my end, I will spend a story point and upgrade another one of those die.
Okay.
So you'll have 2 reds, just because with 2 chain weapons randomly spinning and whirring towards you, I think it is unpredictable how its strikes can work.
Yep. How many story points do you have?
You currently have 3.
Could I use one, please?
Absolutely, you can.
Okay.
It's a clash of religious titans.
It truly is. All right. Okay.
I strongly support using a story point.
Okay, very good.
Like this.
So this is the spread for this attack would be 1 green, 4 yellow, 1 purple, 2 red. That's it. And 1 auto success, you said.
Yes.
All right.
And 1 success you get for free.
Fuck yeah.
Here we go.
Do it.
4 successes, 1 triumph.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
But I don't think I can use my second weapon because I didn't get an advantage. I need an advantage to
you need
hit
2
with the second one.
you need 1
I need
advantage
1
with your
because
balance.
I'm
Triumphs can
special.
sometimes work that way. I can't remember if that's.
I would let you spend the triumph if you want to convert that over to get your second weapon strike.
So it just depend whether you want to trigger a crit or swing a second weapon.
I think I want to use it towards a crit.
Okay.
Let's do that.
All right. So right out the gate, your weapon does how much damage?
It does 9 damage.
We're adding 4, so it comes up to 13.
And it's Pierce 1, Vicious 3.
Okay,
Yes.
Pierce 1.
Not. Oh my god.
So 9 plus 4 is 13. We'll just add 1 automatically for the Pierce, which goes to 15. 15. Its soak is 5. So you do 10 damage, which is gnarly. And I need you to roll a D100 so we can see where things fall on the crit chart.
Do that. I rolled a 45.
45. You knock it prone. So
That's what I wanted to do.
You come in and let's say do you feel like you'd knock it prone with the shield? Like, is this a stab hit with shield or is this double sword work?
Yeah, I think it's like a mostly sword. Like that's where all the damage is coming from, and then not attacking with the shield, but kind of just shoving down, like bearing down on it, basically.
Nice.
Like kneel.
And it does. It's off balanced and spinning chain blades, but it is kneeling. So you will have advantage on upcoming attacks with it being prone in front of you.
Very good.
Nero, you are next though.
I feel like these Skullshield guys really have this on lockdown. The panic in their eyes and the unprofessional screams are really selling me on this. Nero is legitimately a little taken aback that Sister Mina stepped in front. At this point, he wasn't really sure, but he just mutters under his breath, "Oh, Horus bless that woman." And then I'm going to use my maneuver to aim. And it's one of those sort of like cinematic moments where it's just like there's no stress to this. Because honestly, these Arco-Flagellants, like honestly, Chaos has such cooler shit out there that like these are just kind of adorable in a weird way. So like he respects the game, but whatever. So he's just very casually lining up a sight on it. Mina tells it to kneel, and he's just like, oh man, so susceptible. So I'm gonna use my maneuver to aim, and then I'm gonna try and just offload into this thing on the ground. Good news is for me, because of my targeter, I can remove 3 setback from attacks. So that's actually going to neutralize shooting into combat and shooting prone. So it really is just one of those classic, like the sniper and the hostage situation things where it's just like, I've got a clean shot. So pew, pew. So I'm going to light up, try and light this thing up off the ground.
You do need to upgrade a difficulty die because you're shooting into combat where an ally is fighting them. So
Sure.
There's a free red upgrade. And I'll use a story point for the other because it just feels like this is very high stakes and unpredictable in terms of the combat.
Cool. So that's 2 red. Then some firing. I believe this is mid-range. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. And then I've got my ranged plus my sweet agility.
Yep. So it'll be the ranged light, and you get a boost for aiming.
Got a boost for aiming. I remove my setback. And yeah, I'm going to spend a story point as well.
Yep.
Because again, I think he is truly touched. He's also not entirely sure Sister Mina can survive this thing standing up. And also, if and when the skull shields die almost immediately, he's going to really need her to not die if this thing stands up. All right, cool. I'm locked and loaded.
All right, let's see what happens.
Cool. 4 yellow, 2 red, 1 blue. Let's dance. Fascinating. 3 advantage, 2 failure.
3 advantage, 2 failure. Oh, I just knew before this started. I was like, let's get at the weird advantage chart.
You are correct.
So there are kind of a couple of things you can do. You got 3 advantage, you were saying?
3 advantage, 2 failure.
3 advantage, 2 failure. Okay, so you don't actually. I would say you probably do hit the Arco-Flagellant. I just think it's glancing enough that the bolts, instead of exploding on impact, hit some of its spinal coverage.
Yeah.
And kind of ping off and explode in the air.
They're hardy
however,
boys.
I think we could say that it gives a boost to Mina because the Flagellant is down. And then you could also add a setback die to your opponent's next check if you wanted to.
Cool. Let's do that.
Great. So that'll be your 3 advantage. So it'll be an additional setback for the Arco-Flagellant on its attack. And Mina, you will have a boost on your next attack, check, whatever it needs to be in terms of this engagement. The Skull Shields, let's see how those homies are doing.
Good luck, babies.
Yeah, they're having a time, you know? They do get that automatic success, though, which is nice.
We had 1 day left till retirement.
Yeah. Join the guards, they said. It'll be fun, they said.
See the world, shoot exotic Xenos.
Okay, that was pretty much a straight up roll across the board of 3 yellow to 3 red. They got 1 green and they got a boost because they got a chance to shoot before it started. And they came up with 2 success, 2 advantage. So I will say they are currently engaging theirs with full success. I'm only doing 1 roll for the other team, so I'm only going to do 1 roll for them. So we'll say that fight is still going, but they are managing to kind of, you're watching them wear down theirs and you're realizing, oh, despite the panic, it seems like 2 people screaming is trumping 1 person in a giant visor helmet screaming with chainblade arms. So you won't have a rude interruption from the side. However, the Arco-Flagellant that is just shrieking from where it is on the ground is now stabbing upwards at Mina. Perhaps receiving what I will describe as the most setback dice ever added to a roll. So it is attacking with its chain limbs. It receives 3 yellow and 1 green. I just want to paint a picture of how dangerous things are. Some of this becomes a little mechanical, but I don't mind displaying these rolls. It auto adds a success and 2 advantage because it is just so pumped full of danger drugs that it is going
If you're
wild.
near it, it's hitting you kind of thing?
You itself. It also takes 2 wounds just for being active. Arco-Flagellants, you can see it's like tearing its own muscles, lashing out. If you turn one on and just leave it in a room, it dies real fast.
Okay.
However, I know there are 4 defense for Mina, just maxing out what is literally possible for a PC to have, plus an additional setback from Nero's shooting, plus an additional setback for being prone. So that means there are 6 setback dice on this roll.
Please.
Okay.
I am not going to use a story point. I just want to see how this plays out. Here we go. Oh, 2 advantage. So
That's a pretty good getaway. That's
all right.
That is miraculously good.
Okay.
The twin chain weapon. So it is lashing out. I will say for the advantage, it gets back to its feet. And it just redoubles its assault. So it's coming in, but it will no longer have any of the disadvantages from being prone, nor will you have the advantages for attacking it. So that'll be the spend. It's flailing so frantically you can fend it off with your shield, just barely. But it's back and coming at you. So,
Okay.
Mina, we're back to you.
All right.
The crowd is kind of going insane now. You charged the dinosaur originally. Now you've charged a flagellant. There's a little bit of a crowd filtering in from the other arenas. You realize some people were a little disappointed by some of the other fight groups. So people are getting into the blood-soaked martyr.
Yep. All right. All we can do is just try to hit the shit out of it. And I'm going to do 2 weapons again because we got to put this thing down.
Great.
Yes,
So that'll be 3 difficulty. I'm going to spend a story point. So 2 of them will be red.
Right. So it's 2 purple, 2 red because 1 for the double. Red.
It starts at 2. You get 1 more for the double. So no, 1 purple, 2 red.
1 purple, 2. Oh, okay. Yes.
That's better.
And then I am going to say, I'm going to give you
I
one.
get my boost passed from
Yes,
Nero?
so you get your boost pass from Nero, and I will add a setback just because this thing is attacked so ferociously it could get back to its feet.
And I get 1 auto success on it because it's
Frenzied. Yeah, so
Frenzied.
it's not defending itself adequately, just attacking you with relentless abandon.
okay. How many story points do we have?
You've got enough to use one, yes. You've
You got 2, right?
You've got 3, actually, because I just
Oh,
spent 1.
okay.
So
I will
We keep
use
ping
1.
ponging them, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I
got
never
3,
keep track
so-
of when you use them.
All right.
currently, after we've done our spends, you guys have 2 and I have 3 right now. Is our story point scenario.
Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
I've got 1 green, 4 yellow, 1 purple, 2 red, 1 boost, 1 setback, 1 auto success.
Correct.
Okay. I'm gonna push a button and oh, Emperor, please. 3 advantages, 1 triumph. So I still don't get my
Fuck
second
yes!
attack, but we're
No, but-
cleaving it up.
Wait, 3
I-
advantages and a triumph? Yes, a triumph counts as a success, so you
Oh.
will get both of your attacks.
Oh, great. Okay.
And your damage is so emphatically large between those 2 weapons. What I would like to ask you is, how does Sister Mina finish off the Arco-Flagellant?
Oh man, she's just like, so it's been trying to flail and come at her with the like circular saws, and it's been trying to stand up, and she's just been bearing the shield and her weight down on it to the point where it's like sort of under her and flailing, and she puts 1 boot up on it in the middle of its back, like on its between its shoulder blades, and she just bears down the chainsword on the back of its neck where its spine is, and just as it separates the spleen, and like its head comes off and just gore sprays up, and it's still flailing as it just is deadened.
The crowd is going fucking mental. And you just see the phrase that's getting flashed on the screen in the middle is just like bloodgasm, bloodgasm. Like it's just the fucking crowd loves this. And you see your Skullshields manage to put down the other Arco-Flagellant in an equally violent and sporting fashion.
Yeah,
so
I think Mina would turn like huffing and like rage filled, like but and turn like she's gonna go after the other Arco-Flagellant, and then sees it's already dead and is kind of like then gets her like poise back. you
And
know?
I will, staring at them finish it, thumb off the tab on the grenade I was going to toss at all 3 of them and just slide it back into my belt.
no one
fair.
else sees it, but somewhere 2 Skullshield parents are feeling much better about the world.
Honestly, right here, 1 Nero Abagnale is happy he doesn't have to waste a grenade.
That's
And I
right.
mean,
right,
also
it's all-
skull shields, but
It's all good then.
Oh,
So inside the arena, you get a moment to reposition yourselves and look up at the screens to see how things have worked out for the other teams versus the Arco-Flagellants. So first up, we'll see how Lucia's team does. We've got those upgrades, 3 damage, 2 boost because there are no weapons and they are no ranged weapons against them.
Yeah, their guns are going to be good initially.
Yep. Oh, okay. 6 advantages, 1 triumph, and 4 failures. What a weird combo.
Oh.
no, we can't.
What?
Yeah, that's 4 failures. And they got 4 team members. What I'm going to say is there's 1 stormtrooper still standing. So you watch the Arco-Flagellant they'd spread out thinking it would give them the advantage and split fire, which is why they're still alive. And you just see Arco-Flagellants mow down the ones that they're up against. There is a triumph, though. So there is 1 stormtrooper unarmed, just still standing. And you watch, and Lucia does not throw in the towel. That 1 stormtrooper is facing whatever comes through next.
Unarmed or unscathed? I need to know.
Unscathed.
Okay.
I will say the weapon was damaged, but you see the
Okay.
stormtrooper going over to strip off another trooper's
Okay.
rifle and backpack. So
Boy, that makes shit real difficult. Okay, so we need these other 2 houses to have fucked up. I'm hoping these naked gladiators got completely decimated.
okay, just to make a note for the
Holy
stormtroopers.
shit.
1 left.
I mean, Easy
Y'all
come
are gonna win.
thrones, easy go thrones. It's fine.
No.
We might
All
be
right.
hitchhiking home, but that's all right.
So you get the highlight reel for the gladiators. Let's see what happens. They're facing 3 red die against their priority rolls because of the upgraded danger here. The gladiators have got...
Are we not entertained?
They get a yellow. They get an automatic boost no matter what they fight, and they get another boost because they fought so well in the previous round. Ooh, I'm going to make a note of this, actually, because there was a triumph. So he's there, but in the previous roll... let's see what happens. Holy shit. The gladiators rolled 7 successes and 2 advantage.
Oh my god!
Get out of here, guys.
It turns out
I just take my clothes off. Apparently that's the key.
the gladiators, and you see this in the replays, the reason they perform so well is they're used to fighting creatures and unpredictable things. These Arco-Flagellants don't defend themselves. So they're very dangerous. They come in swinging really, really hard, but they're not playing it tactically.
Yep.
So the professionals wait for them to get in close, and they just do what Mina did. One of them is in front to just tank the hits and not die, and that's their only job. And the other flanked them until they took the whole team out. And they're just parading around. People are loving them. You see Lucia Bane's crowd is basically split. Half of them stay in their seats to watch this person die, and the other half split up to go watch the other teams that appear more interesting, as no one really believes she's going to be able to keep this running. And then our final team, which are the bounty hunters that you watch in the replay, they've got, there we go. These enemies are man-sized, so they get 2 boost. But they also add a setback for having a shoulder wound to one of their bounty hunters from the first round, if you remember from the threat. 1 success, 1 threat. I'm going to say they successfully hold off the Arco-Flagellants and kill 2 of them, but the injured bounty hunter is mowed down in the combat. So they're down to 3 combatants in their arena.
Okay. All right.
So they have... and what we'll do for casualties on teams is it just adds an automatic failure to their next roll. That is the recap. There is a little bit of a breather for the teams in the arena to prepare themselves for the next round. And we cut back to the owner's box where Pedes comes over and he says,
"So who was supposed to win again?"
The aptly named Suicide Kings.
Do you still wish to place your bet? I can say that you will receive 10 times your bet should you place it and win.
Are you able now to take the entire bet?
Yes, the odds are representative that this will serve our favor as the house.
I think
But
that's
should you
too-
wish to bet on another team, we could consider this option.
I think it's too stupid a bet now.
Do you want to bet on yourself to win?
Yes.
Excellent. I can allow you to double your money should you become victorious, though I will require the name of your financier.
The name of my financier will. Oh boy, I went into Richter there. Sorry.
It's all right, we're all worldly people who know
Yeah.
many accents.
The name of my financier will be Forthcoming.
But you told me if I returned with a better offer, I would receive it now. Or one of their names now.
Very well. Let me go find his name.
Nero Skullshield, who
Thank
if
you.
you're giving the true answer.
Yeah, I'll give the true answer. I'm betting on our folks to win it now. I need to basically talk to I can't remember his name either. The current governor.
There's Rancid, who's the drooling kind of idiot, and then there's
Right, his
Gazi
son.
or
Yeah, Gazi, yeah.
Graswald.
I need to talk to Gazi because I had already mentioned that like we would establish that he would basically throw in the towel once Lucia's people won. or once Lucia's people were like the other survivors, he would just forfeit, and then that would be first and second. But that's like not going to happen here. So I need to talk to him about not giving up, that we're going for the win here. So I need to do that at some point. Like, we're in his arena, so I should hopefully be able to.
You're in the neighboring
him.
box, so I think it'd be, if you're thinking of apartment style, you could kind of climb over onto the balcony of the next. Like, there's a 4-foot high railing, but you can go over to his section if you want to.
Yeah, I do. I need to speak to him.
Just someone awkwardly climbing over the seats.
Pedes will look at you first and just be like,
The bet has been placed, and your information has been most, shall we say, profitable. You are a friend to the Adeptus Mercantile.
And Nero Skullshield is fond of making connections and acquaintances. He should be he should be happy to have met the financier to arrange this bet. Perhaps hold you in much higher regard than other... Oh, what are they called again? I'm sorry, I'm blanking on so many terms.
You can just call adepts if you're thinking of the Adeptus Mercantile. Yeah.
Yes, but perhaps more interestingly, Nero is the host of this game, and for him to place a bet means he has corrupted himself. And now I have confirmed the financial transaction, which means he will become a tool of my financial empire. You, Seth Corbyn, are a true friend of mine.
Happy to help.
Is there anything else I can assist a true friend with?
No, you've done quite enough.
Excellent.
And then he's just going to go back, and you just see him kind of tapping away on a raised slate, and he is in heaven. You have the only time I think you've ever seen a servant of any sort of Adeptus just be almost chipper. He jumps and clicks his heels. He needs his anti-grav suspensors to be able to do it, but he does it. Meanwhile, Piper, you are sitting there having realized that this plan has kind of been going up in, I would say, smoke, but clearly it's fire at this point with the attempt to get Lucia Bane to win. You do, however, have some options that are available for you. You could, if you wanted to, go over to Lucia's side of the arena and use your powers to perhaps make her foes perform worse if you wanted to try to keep the lone stormtrooper in the game. Or you could stay here in case your friends need assistance, or anything else you could come up with. I just wanted to lay those out as you have had actually time to sit there and, I guess, panic and think however is appropriate for you. Where is Piper at, and what is Piper thinking?
Piper is... I mean... She's kind of, she's not, she's not panicking, because this is like, if all goes to shit, like she can just leave. But like, that's always kind of in the back of her mind. It's like, oh, whatever. But I'm toying between helping Lucia's team or hurting her foes.
So the bounty hunters are already weakened. The pros are crushing it. So you could either take a weakened team and theoretically make them perform worse, or go in and set your balance against the top performers.
She's considering cursing the Marcus's team.
Which are the pro fighters?
Yeah, the pro fighters, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, if she wants to do that, I would say you'd need to leave this arena and go over to the Marcus arena. I don't think you can do that from this far away, kind of through a TV screen, but yes, that would be very much permissible.
Okay.
Do you say anything to Seth before you just mysteriously leave the box?
I think I will. Like, Seth has come back?
You're still on the platform, so he was a few kind of
feet
or meters away, but...
As I go to leave my position, I kind of want to brush past Seth and just kind of say quietly, like, so this means I have to deal with this now, right?
Do what you like. Seth is not in a good place. Seth is like, do whatever you think you must.
Well, I suppose we're fucked if we lose, so I have to do this, don't I? All right. And she just walks into whatever tunnel weird thing she has to go to get her around to the other side.
Yep. You just, as you leave, you just see Seth like hike the waist of his pants up so he can get a leg up and over the railing as he tries to climb around the box.
All right, so Warden will follow Piper. You're going to switch arenas, so you will arrive in time to be able to influence that fight, but that's a pretty straightforward walk around. There's no internal security between the arenas. They clearly want the audience to go where things are the most exciting, so it's a pretty easy stroll, and with Warden, nobody's going to fuck with you because you have like armed security and you already look a little bit spooky to begin with. Down on the sand, Nero and Mina, the Skullshields come over for kind of like a group huddle in case you have any strategy to impart, but they're clearly used to being told exactly kind of what to do. What do you say to each other? Is there any way you want to gear up or strategize for the next thing to come out of the gates?
Mina's just like, whatever comes next, just shoot it.
There's 4 rounds, correct?
Yes, there are 2 more. Theoretically, there could be a 5th if all the teams make it, but it's not anticipated to make it past 4.
Yeah, all right. Okay, then I'll pull out one of my grenades and just say, given the escalating nature of the sorts of threats we're seeing, I think it might behoove us to handle whatever comes through that next door a little quickly. Skullshield friends, you're doing a great job. Emperor appreciates it. Doing good for the Emperor. I'll turn to Mina and I'm like, and sister, I want to thank you for stepping in front of those Arco-Flagellants fellows as they came in. That was a real honorable thing you did. I can understand why you're one of his chosen. And then I'll just like pat you on the shoulder.
Of course, sir. You know I would lay down my life before I let anything hurt you.
Yeah. That's really nice to hear. Gonna need you to keep that in mind around Piper. Okay. And then I just pull my grenade out and be like, all right, so who's ready to win valiantly and then lose politely, huh?
I suppose I will wait for a first volley before I run into the fray, so you can use that.
Skullshields. Just both of the other 2 say simultaneously, clearly not having much to add. And you turn towards the gate as you begin to hear the musical trill that summons new instruments. However, Seth, you have a quick moment to speak with a hallucinogenically fueled Gazi, who's laying back on a throne, almost looking asleep. It really is clear that he's not watching this, and you do not know how much of this is an act, but you do know the smoke is real because you are starting to see like color waves coming off of everything around you.
Then I'm looking for his forfeiture handkerchief, his white flag.
Can you roll me a what is there? Do you have roll me a skullduggery?
If you need a Skullshieldery roll, I know a couple guys.
Nice. I'm gonna say it is difficulty 3.
Okay.
And I'm gonna give you 2 setback because these are some hallucinogens that would make deft sneakery not anyone's strong suit.
Okay.
I will give you a boost because he's not. Well, I'll give you 2 boosts because he's affected too. It feels like that's leveling the playing field in terms of drug exposure.
Yeah. I think if we have them available, I'm going to use it. How many do we have?
You've got
points.
You've got
2.
You've got 3, I think. 2? No, that's me. You have 2. You have 2. I have 3.
Okay. If we had 3, I'd spend it. If we have 2, I want our 2 fighters to each at least have one for life or death combat. So I won't hedge my bets in that way, but this should hopefully still pan out. Okay, I'm gonna roll. Not using a story point here. Should have used a story point. 3 advantages is the net.
3 advantages.
That's all we got.
As you reach for it, Gazzy just quickly snatches it out of your hand and just says, "What's going on?" He's holding perfectly still and his lips don't move. Mm-hmm. He's essentially throwing his voice, but he's clearly able to hear you and have a conversation.
The bet has changed. Lucia's not going to make it.
All right, so you should win.
Yes. However, 2 of my associates are at play in the field. And I haven't decided yet whether their lives are worth this bet or not. But as of right now, we are playing to win, not to come in second. Do you understand?
Yes.
Very good. Enjoy the show.
Who's that? He says as you back away.
Yeah, and I have to
the role
more carefully cross this gap now in the boxes. Now that I'm a little high.
Yep, and you are now the only person watching from the owner's box as the music plays throughout the arena, and the slowly cranking opposite door starts to rise once again, and from within it. You just hear a guttural sound, a wave of rage that pours out. Whoa! And greenskins pour forth. You see there are 3 full-scale orcs, all with choppas and sluggas coming in hard, and a squad of 5, what to you look like goblins, but you'd recognize as Gretchen if you knew, which are about half the size of a person. All of them with outsized pistols. It seems it should be impossible, but they actually start shooting before they even make it out of the ramp. Some to the ground, some to the sky, and they pour forth in a new wave of Xenos-fueled violence. It may not be legal. This says Skullshield has some weird connections to be able to bring Xenos to the battlefield, but it's happening. It's time for you to face your own miniature Waaagh in the gladiator games of the Dominion Omnium Protohive. From the written musings of Fabius Bile, a singular problem with the universe, I find, is that things so rarely know their place. And orcs do not belong in an Imperial combat arena, but you are still facing them. There are 5 Gretchen, or Grots as they are informally known, sprinting out as the first wave, followed by 3 full-sized orcs, all firing weapons at random.
Now, Ryan, you mentioned their equipment at the end of the previous episode, and honestly, it was a perfect cross-section of what orcs and Grots would carry. I think you did miss like one key piece of gear, though, and that would be the Imperial grenade that Nero Abagnale wants to gift them and has been waiting to gift, like a pitcher waiting to throw that first pitch at a baseball game. So you let me know when I can help re-equip them. But
you lined it up so well that I will say that is your surprise round. I think you get a surprise round on the orcs, who definitely started shooting and yelling "Wah" when you couldn't see anything.
For what it's worth, his plan was kind of just to throw the grenade down the chute, no matter who was like. It could have been the Emperor being like, "It is I, have returned." I would have been like, "Don't care, grenade."
Alrighty, let's go for it then.
Beautiful.
So, it's still medium range, I think. Medium you can throw. So medium range will be 2 difficulty die.
Cool.
You've got it's your ranged light, so that's pretty easy. I'll give you a boost because I think that would be the equivalent of aiming, because you were definitely prepared before this began. I don't think there's really a justification for a setback. I will use a story point because you had to throw it to time it for them getting there. So I think there's that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That question.
What's our story point situation right now, Ryan?
You have 3 and I have 2.
Well, I'm going to spend one of those because someone didn't spend it earlier to convince a certain Pedes to do things. So I've got to spend now. He was really just helping me out. Seth always has our back. Yeah, and this is largely, again, like Nero doesn't like fighting. He doesn't like being in combat. So this whole situation is hell for him. So the faster this can be done, the better, because like being in a box with no way out is not really his idea of a good time. So as they run in yelling "Wah," taking a page from my boy Brendan Fraser's book from The Mummy, I will also scream "Wah" and throw my grenade.
Great.
So
I don't know why I inferred like you read a book written by Brendan Fraser for some reason.
look, Mr. Fraser, if you're listening, I will. Anything you want to write,
I'll
there.
buy it right now.
Me of the Jungle, amazing.
Donuts and Dice will buy a copy of Brendan Fraser's autobiography and gift it to every person who's ever appeared on our show.
You want to call it
Brendan Fraser, Memoirs
Brendan
of an
Wit-
Encino Man.
Brendan Witched? It's just a picture of you holding your own boobs. Like anything's fine. I'm there, man. I'm there. All right, cool.
George
so
of the Hollywood Jungle.
yeah. Dudley, do correct. Rolling dice.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Oh yeah, baby. That's 3 success, 1 advantage.
All right.
Now the bummer for that is 1 advantage is not enough to trigger blast on a grenade. Grenade rules are very strange in that way. So yeah, I guess I just
How much damage does it do, Tom?
it does 10.
Does 10? Okay. I am going to say you will blast 10. You will take out, I'm going to give you the blasty part of it for free. So you will get 3 of the Gretchen, and then I'll say your skull shields through theirs as well, because you had a solid roll. So I will say 4 of the grots are immediately scythed apart, and the last one is just standing there. Like, he stopped charging, and he's just got his gun, like, amazed that he's alive, at which point he is just bowled over and squashed by the 3 orcs that are charging in behind him. So the grots, due to your investment in grenades, have been killed. So it's just the orcs charging forwards.
The main threat has been eliminated.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh boy.
Honestly, I was gonna. The orcs were going to use them as weird bullet shields, so this is a pretty smart investment.
I've played orcs. I know how it goes. Hey, there's a minefield. Run through it, please.
Sister, can you roll me a vigilance with difficulty 0?
Oh, 0. Okay. Let's see.
Ryan, would you like me to roll one of these 2 for actual initiative order?
Yeah, why don't we do that as well? Yeah.
Cool.
Vigilance, not my strong suit, so no difficulty.
No difficulty.
Yeah,
This is just a cold kind of whatever the roll comes out to.
3 successes.
Nice.
Not bad for 2 greens.
Yeah, holy shit, yeah.
It's not
All right.
your jam.
Well, apparently it is. I got 1 success, 2 advantage.
Okay.
Off
Honestly,
2 yellow.
it not the best, but it does feel kind of right for the order of events in that you're lobbing a grenade. Mina, you are just the fastest off the starting block towards these things.
Right.
And the crowd around the arena, you're now seeing there are a variety of colors appearing there, and they're all just chanting, "Sister of Blood! Sister of Blood!"
Oh, no. I'm sure Nero hates that.
Au contraire, I'm chanting it now too as I reach for my bolter. But you're not sure if I think it's a good thing or like a Horus thing. Either way, I'm yelling.
All right. Well, she only has melee combat, but also is definitely trying to protect Nero. So whichever one is heading our way, she's going to get in between and...
I mean, all 3 of them are kind of heading your way.
Right.
You could intercept. So imagine yourselves, it's kind of you and Nero, and then to your left are the 2 skull shields. The 3 orcs are running straight at you. I think you could successfully kind of bowl into 2 of them if you wanted to engage 2 of them on the way.
Yes, let's do that. Mm-hmm.
So to pitch this, I'm going to say you're probably going for the 2 that are the closest to you and Nero in the hopes the 3rd one will either stop to fight you or charge the skull shields.
Correct.
Beautiful. I'm imagining you're diving into combat. Are you trying to 2-weapon strike the orcs?
Oh my god. It's every time I do it, I get very scared because it adds a measure of danger. But I mean, I guess we should. Let's do that.
All right. So you will be difficulty 3. One of those 3 will be red, and I'm going to use a story point to make a second one red as well. So it'll be 1 purple and 2 red. The orcs also have 1 defense, so you will add 1 setback for their
1
armor.
Setback. Yeah, and so that you said difficulty 3.
Difficulty 3, 1 purple,
And
2
so
red.
the 1 red upgrade is because I'm hitting with both weapons, right?
1 for hitting with both weapons, and
I
another
just
because
wanted
I'm
to
using
double check.
and another
Yeah.
because I'm using a story point. That's why there are 2 red.
Perfect. Okay.
Do you? I think that's
I would like to use another story point, please.
great.
Okay. I think that's everything. So I'm looking at 1 green, 4 yellow, 1 purple, 2 red, 1 setback.
Yep.
Okay. Here we go.
Or here we go, as the orcs are thinking.
3 successes, 2 advantage. So I can hit with my
Yes.
second weapon.
Great. So your first weapon gets
9
plus 3,
damage.
so jumps to 12 damage, which is a real nice upfront
And it's
hit.
Pierce 1.
So the equivalent of 13 damage. So the orc, 13 damage. Okay, you scythe through his gut, and just intestines spill out that are kind of purple and an uncomfortable amount of wriggling, and he just goes, "Whoa!" Like he's not down. It's disturbing that he's still up from this. Would you have split your strikes between like 1 per orc, or are you diving in on one guy to just finish him and then be kind of toe to toe with the other?
Okay, tank tactics is I have to finish one
Right.
enemy at a time. Finish.
And he is very dead. So you got him with the chain blade, with your chain sword. How do you finish him with the shield?
So yeah, she guts him with the chain sword, and then she's just gonna hit with the shield, but she's kind of gonna do like the shield up and over her head so that like the shield grazes across his face, and because it's a power shield, it just like boom, like takes his front of his face off, and I'm sure like the brain and part of the skull is there, and it just
Yeah, all his eyes burst and all the skin on his face is gone. So you just see a skull looking at you surprised.
and
No.
and without even waiting, she's just gonna turn towards the other one she's in melee combat with, and like, you're next.
I'll turn to our buddies and be like, "Hey guys, I found your shield," and I'll just point at the orc's face.
That orc collapses, and then Nero, you're looking at them, and it's just they get hit by another orc. It's the orc's turn, so he just storms through and hits them like a hurricane. One of the skull shields is just brutally murdered outright because I did a die roll on this, but the other is now trading blows with the orc there. The other orc, however, is engaged with Sister Mina,
Yep.
or the Sister of Blood, as the crowd is furiously chanting. So he is going to be, or I guess it. Well, they don't really have a gender. That's it. He is attacking with a choppa. So you're looking at just a giant bladed one-handed axe. And there's not really a whole lot of strategy to orc fighting. So he's actually so distracted, he's shooting his pistol into the ground while just hammering you with every ounce. He's way stronger than you would ever wish he were.
Oh yeah, and it, like, she's trying to be cool in battle, but her eyes are wild because she's never even seen an orc. Like this is crazy town. Like
It's unforgettable.
the other 2 groups, like she's seen Arco-Flagellants because they are made at the convent where she lives. Like,
Yeah. All right. So your defense is 4
Yes.
because you are tooled up. Do you want to use a story point to make my time harder? Are you inspired by some sort of religious fervor or other narrative reason?
but I want it for shooting. I want it for them. No, bring it on.
Okay. Wonderful.
Sir, if I may,
And you may.
I would like to use my once per combat ability, Clever Retort. And as I'm kind of like watching, the blade swing down with unnatural religious fervor for Nero, I will like shriek in like a Joffrey didn't get his way amount of like petulance. Her soul is spoken for, Greenskin. And I will add
What?
2. I can add 2 threat to his roll by saying something cruel, clever, or distracting. In this case, also true. So I will just speak a loud truth.
That is very distracting for an orc. He just yells, "Gork, what?" That's all you get. but he's still just punching away.
Gork sucks butt in hell. I'll yell back.
See, now he's got to get through her faster. So he's watching Nero as he just bashes Mina. Like it's looking over, almost pointing.
And I'm just licking my lips. I'm just like staring him down. I'm glad Mina can't see this because I think she'd have to put me down.
Making sure my roll is legal. All right, there we go. Oh, fuck. All right. 5 successes for the orc, taking a swing in at Mina.
Oof a doof. Well, I guess straight off, however much damage, I'm going to parry 4 of it.
So the damage total right now is 14.
Okay.
So you have how much soak?
Holy shit.
I have 8 soak.
Okay, so 14 becomes 6.
And then I'll parry 4.
Parry 4. So you take 2.
So I'm taking 4 strain to parry it.
Yep. So you're taking you take 2 damage total.
Woo.
This is why you're fighting. Okay.
This is why I watched the first
have a
season.
quick look.
I made this character based on the occurrences.
I would be dead.
Yep. So that's what happens there.
Yeah.
Big swing.
Taking my soak into account and my wound threshold, I would be dead.
Taking your soak and your wound threshold into account, I would still be dead.
All right, so Mina, you are hit a glancing blow. We'll say the orc rained down a couple of hits on you, and then one glanced off the shield and just caught you kind of in the shoulder of your other arm. It wasn't a deep sink in; it was just kind of a skim along, but it sunk within the armor, so you're bleeding from the shoulder of your chainsword arm. But you are still heartily engaged. One skull shield is down. The other is fighting furiously, and Nero has declared that he owns your soul. Meanwhile...
Not me.
Oh, well, someone owns your soul. It's a mystery. I don't think you'll like the answer. But in the other arena, where the professional bounty hunter or the professional fighters are now throwing down with their own orcs and Gretchen, Piper, you arrive just in time as they storm out of the gates to be able to influence this battle before it even starts. So what are you doing and how?
I have a bit of a struggle at this moment, just because it's taken me a little bit of time to make my way to the other arena. And I've had time to think that, like, okay, I'm going to open my mind up. This could really fuck us. I don't know. Still don't know the nature of the threat out there. At the same time, we kind of need this to go our way to keep favor with the governor. And that's super critical to our mission. So.
And I will say you can see the screens as you're traveling through, like they're kind of broadcasting it everywhere. So you can see that, a skull shield has died and Mina has taken a hit. It's not like they're dying in the arena yet, but this is clearly the most dangerous thing they've faced yet.
Also, I think Piper's like thinking to herself as she sees Mina take the hit, I'm like, she just like fucking kills an Arco-Flagellant. Like, how really? Orcs? Like, what the fuck is going on? And she's kind of muttering that to herself as she's going. But she is going to attempt to curse our little professional fighter team.
Great. How does that work?
So how that works is, so I get to select a target, but we're treating them like a group, right?
Yeah, you can treat it like a group. In this case, I will allow it. In others, I may not.
Okay.
But yes, here.
Okay, that's nice. So it's within short range. Am I going to have to like up the range in order to hit them?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Because you can't get into the arena. Short range is ideally what you can throw, like a rock or something.
So basically what I'm doing is hoping for success is to remove an ability die from any like skill checks that they do for like their first round.
Great.
So the base difficulty is average. So I'm already dealing with one difficulty and one challenge. So I'm going to up it once for range.
Yep.
And I'm going to up it 2 more times to try to blind them.
Okay, so you're going to difficulty
which
5.
upgrades,
this,
which
correct?
basically will upgrade the difficulty of any of their site-based checks, i.e., attacking 3 times.
I think we can agree that if you can successfully blind this team, I don't think they're going to make it against the orcs.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. So I'm also going to use what's as an incidental. It's called Corpus Conversion. So when making a psychic check, I can suffer 2 wounds to get an automatic, like an additional success or 2 advantage. So I think I'll go for the success because I want this to be successful.
Fair enough.
I'm going to use a story point.
Great.
Like, obviously. Because like there's no fucking way. Like I'm going to risk like any threats to my mind as I open it up.
Yep. I'm going to add a story point as well because this is a this is a big attempt in a complicated scenario. Like you're affecting multiple targets from range.
Yeah.
So your difficulty is 5 from what I remember from the stuff that's being added, which is great. So 2 of those will be red. 2 of them
are challenge.
Yep. I will say this is interesting. I think we might just go clean with this one. I don't think there's anything that would boost you. Yeah. Do you know what? I will add 1 setback because you're trying to hit a whole team instead of an individual target. And I think that's valid.
Okay. Oh, this is looking really scary. Okay.
Don't worry.
I just got to roll though. I just got to roll. So I'm going to roll. Okay. 2 successes, 2 threats.
Interesting. How this fight plays out, I will tell you now. You do successfully blind the team, so they start getting hosed down out the gate. The threat is that you also accidentally blind one of the orcs. So it does not necessarily look just like that the orcs are involved. It looks like someone fucked with this match. It might be a good time for you to book it.
Yeah, I think that's like, as Piper sees that, it's kind of like, and she backs away. It's kind of just like putting the hood up, like you're shutting your face and literally melting back.
Homer Simpsoning back into a shrub.
Exactly.
So are you returning to the box, Piper, or what's your plan now that...
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to stick around. There's no way she's sticking around.
Cool. No, I just meant, are you trying to go back to the owner's box or are you trying to get out of the arena? I just wanted to know where Piper's idea of, shit, I should run means.
I see. No, I'm just going to go back to the owner's box.
Okay, cool. So you'll head back and
I don't want to be like fleeing the scene completely. Like that's, to me, that feels not good.
That's very, very reasonable. So the world's clumsiest massacre is happening with the professional fighters who are just being slaughtered while one orc walks around in a circle until it accidentally bumps into a Gretchen. And then the rarest of things is seen. 4 Gretchen dragging down a fully grown orc and shooting it until it's dead. At which point the other orcs kill the Gretchen. At which point the 2 remaining orcs duel each other and both accidentally die due to horrific wounds. No one makes it out of that arena. It's a bloodbath.
Yay!
The owner of that house is fucking pissed. However, we still have ongoing combat in another arena, the one that is the most important to our characters. Seth, you see, I think they start cutting to the weird massacre in the other arena. It's clearly shady as hell, and you realize that, the psyker isn't here, which is probably worth tracking. I think you'd put 2 and 2 together. Yeah. What are you thinking as you watch this fight kind of get a little messier in your arena and the wild actions taken in another?
So far, everything here is legit in terms of the combat. Would it be like seeing this combat play out? It's not the order that you've done it in historically, but given that it's just one last man standing, do I see how our one little Suicide King is doing against 3 orcs and 5 grots?
Do you know what? I think that one would be decided quickly. So I will allow this to be a die roll to set your brain at ease. So Let's find out. All right, I'm just still gonna give the dice. So let's see what happens. They do have ranged, but they're shit at it. So I'll give 1 boost. However, I add 3 auto fails. But I will give 1 auto advantage because he's got that nice new gun. And the difficulty is 4. Oh my god, this is the weirdest roll in the world. 3 advantages, 1 triumph, 2 failures.
Whoa.
That is so close.
I am going to call this essentially a wash. The Stormtrooper is still up. The Stormtrooper is tremendously fucking injured. This is clearly a walking wounded. The wind blows and the guy dies. But the Stormtrooper is still on his feet. I think this was the Hail Mary of like throwing another Stormtrooper's backpack, shooting it explodes and showers them in fire, blasting down grots in the confusion, knifing an orc in the brain while another one, cuts off that arm at the elbow, getting his knife out and stabbing another one in the brain, like taking a knife in the gut and then like another one in the back. But he's just staggered over, one-armed, bleeding profusely, but there is a hero, a new champion in the arena has been born.
Okay, but what's he done for us lately?
Okay.
Yep, no one knows their name because they're in full carapace armor, including a helmet. But there is a new hero being born there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm getting the vibe that this Stormtrooper is like the main character of his own story somewhere else from another perspective.
Totally,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
The next game I run, that's the only PC. It makes.
It takes off his helmet and it's just Gregor Eisenhorn. Like, truly a strange case for Gregor Eisenhorn, and yet I stand triumphant.
Strange
He
case.
was the heretic.
Gregor Eisenhorn, boy detective.
I will say you have not seen footage from the Bounty Hunter arena, so you do not know what is happening there. So that could go either way.
Yes. Okay. So, how? Let me ask you something about Pedes being a mercantile adeptus.
He's an adept, but he's actually the tally master. So what that means is, and I think you'd have an idea of this from essentially your briefings going in, he's the number 2 in the Adeptus Mercantile for this entire system. So he is the vice president of money. Okay.
He likes me a lot right now.
Yes, he very much does.
How quickly do I think he could spread a rumor that House Vance is cheating by employing the use of psykers on other houses?
He could do it. Probably not in the instance of this fight without it being too obvious. You could push. So there's a balance. Asking him to do it right now would be very,
tough.
very big ask.
So, okay, but that would be kind of a nice thing to bring to Lucia, House Bane, saying, I don't know where that psyker business came from. But I'm fine. Like, I'm investigating it. In the meantime, I'm pinning it on House Vance, and that will manifest, in the coming days. And that and not giving Pedes such a tight deadline to make this thing happen would up our chances of success in that.
Yeah,
or at least it wouldn't be as tough as saying like, do it now. I need this to happen right now during the games.
Yeah, essentially doing that, like you could definitely forestall suspicion, affect the news cycle, that kind of thing could be arranged. That feels like a reasonable favor to ask you.
Yeah. And that's all I can, I don't know his inner thinking or anything like that. So or the inner workings of his mind. So I would approach Pedes and just say, Pedes, in observing the gladiators of House Marcus, it would seem clear that there is some sort of tampering afoot. Now,
is this your sure thing in action?
Curiously, it is not, but I would like to take advantage of these events anyway. Would it be within your power to lay the suspicion of that act at the feet of House Vance?
There are words that could be put in ears and thrones that could grease palms. Yes, in exchange for the favor you have done me. This seems reasonable. And yet...
Tyler, could you roll me a...
However...
Yeah, what do you think you would be like? What do you think is a representative skill for this? Because here's the deal. I told no one to take negotiation because it feels ridiculous, but this has been a weird amount of negotiating. So, what do you think would be the stat that you would use for negotiating? Don't use negotiation.
Negotiation. I didn't even see it. This to me, and you can call me on this if you want, but I feel like it's the honest response. I feel like it's one of my strongest things is skullduggery. It's no,
that's perfect.
Let's kick this dirt onto someone. See, it feels like skullduggery.
Just really feel like it's a vigilance check because I'm so vigilant.
Yeah, no, it's like you're just Quinny like
vigilant for
dragon.
Opportunities.
It's like, this is a stealth check, right? Yeah.
I will say it is difficulty 3.
Okay.
Just because Pedes is pre-programmed to always look out for Pedes first. So
okay. Okay, and no boost, no setback or anything like that.
I will say 1 setback, just because I don't think he would naturally believe that you had nothing to do with this clear rigging of another match.
Right. Okay. It is weird. It's like I've got a sure thing, and a very
another team loses.
Like,
and you're like,
that's not my sure thing. My sure thing is different.
I just like how a horse looks.
Yeah. Okay. I'm rolling 2 advantages.
2 advantages. All right.
Yeah.
Pedes will look at you and say,
I do believe in exchange for this, though, 25% of your winnings should be mine to help grease those necessary palms.
So it's the equivalent of like 25 million thrones. So Nero gets a worse payout.
And he's saying 25% of the payout, not like my cut kind of thing, right? Yeah.
No. He essentially, it just means Nero would only make 175 instead of 200, which I think in your brain means Nero's going to be like, how you fucking me on this bet?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to go along with that, but I just need to figure out how I'm going to respond to this guy. Maybe I need to see how this plays out a little more. And I'll say, I will think on this. And I will say, do be ready to put those words in those ears.
Always.
But I will have to think on your counter offer.
Well, be prepared to act quickly, for if you do not win, then there are no winnings for me to claim.
Yes, quite. And I just go back to like stress stroking my chin. Like I'm just gonna wear the skin raw there.
Seth actually prefers to have a beard. He's just worn a stress trench into his beard, into his skin.
Nice.
That roll did not go my way. Okay.
Great. We cut back to the battlefield. Nero, you simultaneously got to act first. So first again, where you at, baby? I feel like because you're not in combat, you would be the first one to get to react, whether you want to assist a Skullshield or Mina.
Yeah. These orcs are real scary. The choppas are real bad. I know how much they'll drop my saving roll on a tabletop, so that's a bummer. I mean, my heart is in an unkindness, but my brain is in a kindness. So I'm going to help Sister Mina. So as soon as I think like Nero is actually also scratching his chin and literally just trying to determine if he whipped a grenade at the 2 combatants, like the Skullshield and the orc, if that would kill them both, because he really doesn't want to have to fight a Skullshield if it doesn't. Mm-hmm. And then he just hears like probably like not yelp, but like grunt of frustration from Sister Mina as the choppa goes through the armor, and just like his hand falls away. And he just kind of turns, and there's a legitimate moment of confusion at you being injured, like at anything getting past your armor. And he just goes, no. And then just whips the bolt around. It's like, no. I told you. There are plans for her. And I'm gonna just open up on that orc.
Great. I'm imagining we'll count your maneuver as an aim. It feels like with the decision, that's
always and forever.
Dramatically interesting.
100 years aiming my gun. 100 years.
So you get the free boost. You will also, there will be one setback die just because the orcs have some crude armor. Not a ton, but some.
Well, they would if I wasn't so damn good at targeting. But I'm really good at targeting.
That's true.
So that's 2, but 1 gets upgraded to a red because I'm firing into combat.
Correct.
I am not going to spend a story point. I don't think what are we at?
You have 3 and I have 2. I will tell you I will spend a story point.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, I will spend 1. Meta wise, it doesn't actually make sense, but Nero is legitimately furious that anything has desecrated Sister Mina's armor. That doesn't make any sense to him. So this is very much like a John McClane yelling Hans, like Hans, and just like stumbling over with the bolter. So yeah, unless there's anything else you want to add, Ryan, I'm sitting at 4 yellow, 2 red, 1 blue.
That feels right to me. Let's see what happens.
Pew pew. One success, 4 advantage, 1 triumph.
Holy fuck.
And to be clear, I have a little star that tells me that the successes from triumphs are calculated as additional successes.
Yeah. Tom, where do you shoot it and how does it die? Because that was the already injured orc.
So the axe, I think, hits and like manages to like slip just like an inch in. Like it didn't really hurt her, but I don't know that. So I just turn and start yelling and just walking forward, firing from the hip. Like there's no real aiming going on. It really just is that I'm trying to remember which movie it is. I think it's Terminator, where it's just like walking forward, blasting T-1000, but there's no healing from this. Like the orc is just falling apart as I'm just stalking toward it, firing. And as it goes down, I just keep firing a couple extra shells into it. And it's bolter shells. So like, it's not really orc anymore. It's more just like weird, wet dirt.
Nice.
And then I'll stop and give a classic Leo DiCaprio manic, like immediate head turn look to Sister Mina, and just say, "We'll get our friend from the Mechanicus to patch that up for you." And they'll just fire 2 more rounds into the orc on the ground, and just kind of look back and smile. And then I think my eyes will slowly pass over to the Skullshield fighting the orc, which I'm sure is going badly. But yes, that is the extent of my actions in round.
Nero, could you roll me vigilance at difficulty 2?
I will try. All right, so vigilance is, yeah, that's what I thought. Well, yeah, 2 blue or 2 green. Let's dance. Sorry, I've just got to clear my other.
Don't worry about it. That's the name of the game with Genesys dice.
Woo! Still faster than counting the expensive dice I bought.
Oh God!
Click, motherfuckers, and roll we go. 1 success, 1 advantage.
You know, Sister Mina is about to charge into combat with the orc, but you'd thought about this before. Due to your paranoia and your speed of reflexes, you could throw a grenade to kill the Skullshield and the orc before she gets there if you don't want to risk her in that combat.
Yeah, I'll look into her eyes and just say, "Remember, he helps those who help themselves." And then, while still staring at her, just toss the grenade past both of us.
Oh, no. Sorry, other Nero.
Look, there can be only one in any universe. Highlander rules apply. Okay, so that is what range do you want that at, Ryan?
That'll be range light. I'm gonna say it's short because I think you're not even aiming to like hit a specific part. You're just like in the midst of that mess right there.
Yeah, 100%.
1 difficulty.
Great, love it.
We will add 1 setback because both of the parties involved are armored. The difficulty will be a red because it will be upgraded because technically you are firing into a friendly combat.
Can I make an argument for it not to be upgraded to a red because he is not actively trying to save the other combatant? I'm
Yes,
technically attacking 2 enemy combatants.
That is true. I will give you
Jesus Christ.
2 boost.
Thank you. That's great. And I'm going to spend a story point because I want to keep Sister Mina safe. All right. Horse be praised. Let's do it. Oh, baby. 4 success, 3 advantage, 1 triumph.
Holy fucking hell.
I blow up the other arenas.
Yeah. So the orcs, the orc and the Skullshield both explode so violently, there is just mist that patters over you like rain as limbs fall generally around you. Mina, your foe had been defeated by Nero. You thought maybe he was coming in heroically. You were about to save another loyal servant of the Imperium. And then Nero said he helps those who serve themselves, or help themselves, and blew them up with a grenade.
Oh, he did.
Where are you at? How you feel?
Ooh,
What you say?
She turns and looks at him and sees him wild-eyed, and it's like a million things at once of conflicting, like he may be crazy, but he's our leader. And then she's just, good shooting, sir. Praise the Emperor.
I'll be like, yeah, sure, the Emperor. And then I'm going to grab your hand and raise it and just yell, Sister of Blood, and point at you.
The crowd goes, fucking mental.
It's a chainsword arm, and it's like chainsword with the smoke coming out of it, like, and blood is just spraying. And
we both look like characters from the end of an Evil Dead film.
Yes.
Just like, there's just enough like Union safe clear around our eyes, but everything else is just gore. Hand to the air.
Yeah, there are lines of security officers preventing the crowd from storming into the arena, like jumping down just to like hug you two as blood-soaked heroes of this terrible adventure. At which point you all look up to see what is happening with the bounty hunters, the other team that can really sway how this whole journey goes.
Mm-hmm.
This is 4 challenge dice for the bounty hunters. They come in with their regular 3 dice. They get to add 2 boost because orcs are approaching human-sized, but they add 1 auto failure because they have a dead team member and 1 setback for the orcs' armor. Whew. It is a knockdown, drag-out fight. You're watching direct throwdowns. All of the bounty hunters manage to kill the orcs and the Gretchen before they go down. But with 3 advantages and 3 failures, the bounty hunters are slain in turn. One walks to the center of the arena as though there will be another stormtrooper, and then they just fall to their knees and collapse dead. Piper, you arrive back in your management box, and you are staring out there, and you and Seth have the same realization at the same time. Which is, there are only 2 teams left in the game. House Bane and your team.
Yeah.
House Bane, the moment the next round starts, loses. If you are to come second, you have to surrender, even though you are the only one who has a shot at surviving the next round. And if you want to do that, you have to talk Ghazi into it, against his own self-interest, to put major political capital on the line, and to essentially come out and declare who his favorite is in the race for governor. What are you going to do? One of the guiding rules of Fabius Bile. Appointments must be kept, lest all fall to anarchy. A bet has been made, and so has a promise, both of which are at odds with each other. A bet that your team will win this game. A promise to House Bane that your team will come second. And an incredibly confusing political situation where you may out the person you're helping stabilize a system that you know is of critical imperial interest to forces far beyond here. Seth, you and Piper are the only people who can talk about this because the others are in the arena. I think smart enough to weigh the situation to be able to math out what's happening, but they don't know about the bet. They just think, oh, it's going to be a hard time for you to throw in that towel. They actually think you should, I think, because they know that you were supposed to bet that you'd come second with Nero Skullshield's money. So they think you've nailed this. You just have to sell the towel bit. You have a few moments to actually talk to each other and strategize before this happens. There are breathers between rounds. And you're seeing from the arenas where the fighters have died, their full crowds are switching over. And it's clear the event organizers are allowing that transition to happen.
Oh, we get to talk to Olianne and Nero?
No, they're on the field. You don't get to talk to them. What I mean is you have it's not like Seth has to be like, give me the white towel. You have a moment for you two to figure out the approach or what you should do if you want to talk about it. I think you're both equally aware of the ramifications. And Piper, you overheard the details. Oh,
I did? Okay.
So you're aware of those challenges because you were around for those. You don't know about the psyker promise, but you're aware of the earlier bet.
I have my answer. I'm just thinking about how to put it.
Well, then, Piper, do you have anything you would say before Seth, with his jaw set sternly, is about to march over?
I just kind of like, with kind of a crooked smile, say, so we're fucked, right? Either way? Like, well, I don't really see, like, what the fuck has happened here?
And I'll go over to Piper and speak in a low voice, so that
I'll say you guys are in your own box. Pedes is in the back of the governor's one, and the governor's blissed out and his weird psychotropic drugs, so you can talk freely.
When I spoke with Bane, it became clear she was a shrewd tactician. I think she would see the value I think she would see the value in us not tipping our hand to clearly show support for her house. It could unite Marcus and Vance together against us, seeing two houses supporting each other. We don't want these other two to support each other. We want them in direct competition with each other. I believe I can convince her that due to the poor showing of her Suicide Kings, I made a call to pursue a victory. After all, we are still supporting her behind the scenes, and so if we can support her from a more powerful position, more the better.
Right, I suppose that makes sense.
We also have a very, very rich man to please, and so I feel this is the least dangerous way to go about it. We seek victory here and now. We must put our faith and perhaps some of our power, if I saw on the monitor correctly. Perhaps you are ready to contribute a little more to the group. I didn't understand what you were saying at first about taking care of things. I thought you were scared, I suppose is the word. But I see now that you...
Oh, no, to be clear, I'm fucking terrified. I just, don't
Well, then you're managing your fear much, much better than you have been. And I'll commend you for that.
Well, yeah, it's pretty easy to manage your fear when you're there's just no other option. The only other option is we're definitely fucked. There's maybe fucked, definitely fucked. Well, I'm going to mitigate the definitely fucked one first.
And with that in mind, are you ready to support our friends down there on the field?
If I have to. I'd rather not. I'd rather that we made plans that didn't have to involve me, risking my safety and possibly everyone's safety.
And
that would just be the nice thing to do the next time we made the plan. I'm sorry, I didn't even know it.
Piper, but here we are.
I didn't even hear that, and I don't care.
It seems that you are of an argumentative type. Is there an issue regarding our bet?
Says Pedes, approaching from the distance.
Certainly not. Just a matter of renegotiating our cut.
What shall we do then, good sir? You said there was time for you to think.
And I have taken that time. Now, your ask of 25% of the cut back then, an understandable gambit. What have you to lose? 25% of nothing is nothing. 25% if you win is massive. Now that victory is more real, we need to speak more realistically. 5% of the cut.
20.
10%.
Can you roll me a let's go skullduggery, Tyler?
Skullduggery. Okay, so that's already basically queued up just from the last one. So I just need difficulty, setback, boost, whatever.
Great.
I just wanted Pedes to go 30.
If I rolled poorly, he might.
Yeah, let's see what happens. I'm going to say in this instance, he would make a bet with you because the credits were real, but I think your lack of classiness is going to come across as like a criminal shadiness. So you will have, I think it's like 2 setback instead of 2 boost. I can't remember what it is, the negative version.
Oh, for my etiquette?
Yeah.
Let me quickly let you know, but I believe it
might be 1 setback. I can't remember what it
dealing
is.
in boost and setback. Etiquette. Sorry, gang, just 1 second here.
No worries, because I think Pedes will overlook a lot when it comes to cash, but when it comes to negotiation and willingness to like give ground to you, that's where it'll affect things.
Yeah, it is boost and setback, so we would be adding 2 if that's how you want to do it.
Yep, let's do that.
Okay. What's
difficulty for this? I will say 3. I feel like that's his kind of like soft negotiation number. If he was coming in hard, it would be higher. He's very capable, but he still considers you. I'll say 2. You do seem friendly, actually. You made
I'm not trying to.
No. I mean to the character. You gave him Skullshield, so I think that he would. That's a pretty big favor. So I don't think he's trying to like screw you over. I think he's just doing default. I have to negotiate for more money mode.
Sorry, I was about to say, and I don't know why this isn't a real phrase or anything, but I was just about to say, I'm not twisting his nipples here or anything. It's just a weird thing to say.
I'll give you a boost because you're not twisting his nipples.
Thank you. Perfect. I'm not tuning the radio. You know what I mean?
Also, you're playing the game, which is why I would give you a boost. And he would expect you to lowball and then negotiate. So yeah, 1 boost.
So, and I'm also going to use a story point here because I believe Seth sees his whole team at this point really fucking just giving it their all. His the 2 warriors down in the field completely decimating their enemies and just getting the crowd whipped up into a fervor. And then for Piper to overcome or better manage her paranoia or fear about exposure to the warp or to the cultists on this world to still go down and tip the scales in our favor. I think, and he would never say this out loud to anyone, right? He would never say this to these people, but he is coming up short and he needs to kind of pull his weight. And so I think that is the impetus behind this story point where he's like, I need to do my share here. So that's 4 green, 1 yellow, 2 purple, a boost and 2 setback. So in our favor, but the dice, they can be funny. Okay, the dice are cool this time. 3 successes, 4 advantages.
Because of your information about Nero's Skullshield, I agree to your 10%.
I'll put my hand out for a handshake.
And he will take it.
Okay.
He'll take it. It's slimy and weird, and he's clearly got like a skin condition that leaves his hands kind of warty or bumpy in ways you don't care for. But it's a pretty brisk handshake.
Yeah.
And then he'll
I make a point of not being visibly grossed out. I am happy to make a deal with this man.
Make a note for yourself, Seth. I think after all the stuff that's gone down here, you can add a boost die whenever you interact with Pedes. I think at this point, he considers you an admirable fellow, a personal friend, and a source of great profit. That is his holy trinity. and he will, you've befriended the Ferengi of the 40K universe.
Thank you. Great.
And then he will just kind of drift back into the rear of his box. At which point, the music plays and the gate begins to clank open at the far side of the arena. It has not yet cleared the ground. Nero, Mina, is there anything else you want to say to each other before this begins?
She's looking at the screens and seeing like a team with 1 guy almost dead. And she's looking back at Nero and she's like, I thought this was supposed to be over.
I mean, yeah, but we still got to lose, right? I mean, maybe you can give me some guidance on this, sister. You seem to as the thing is coming up, this seems to be kind of something you're better at than I am. Do you think Seth fucked us?
Nero,
'Cause-
take aim. Take it. We are not going to lose this with our lives.
And then he smiles and says, "Not losing." Okay.
The gates clank higher, and two shadows dart out opposite you, faster, blurring faster than you would believe is possible for a person. So fast, it's almost like watching a shadow flit from the gate opening behind cover. Above you, Piper and Seth, you see from the other arena, the stormtrooper still standing in the center is just sliced through almost a dozen times, the rounds whickering through the armor almost silently. At which point, a champion steps forth, two of them from the dark. They are tall, lean, with bladed armor, no exposed skin, mesh, long, thin Xenos rifles with blades on the end, and you realize that somehow Nero's Skullshield has brought the Dark Eldari to this arena. The Blood Fiends and monsters of Camorra are here. We're going to have to roll vigilance because I don't think it's possible for you to get a surprise round on these things.
Oh, man.
Wah.
So it is two Cabalite warriors have taken to the field.
I also feel like I know Mina was freaking out about the orcs. I think orcs being a force of like not capital C chaos, but like chaos and energy and destruction, very easy to kind of wrap your head around.
Wouldn't orcs be chaos with a capital K?
Yeah, there you go. Thanks, buddy. See, you're getting it. You know 40K.
I don't know what that stuff Ryan
Yeah,
just
you
said
do.
about whoever we're fighting, but orcs with a K, right? Yeah,
They're evil space elves.
Sadistic, pain-fueled torturers.
But you know what?
Eventually...
Even if they were just straight up Eldar, I feel like we'd have the same reaction.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
no, these
they're
are
all
the
same.
smart,
Yeah.
scary aliens with guns. Shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I cut you off. You were gonna
No, all good.
tell us more horrible things about the Dark Eldari. While I look
Yeah,
up my
no,
own.
what you would know basically is that there are the Eldari who are they're the high elves of the 40K universe, distant, highly intelligent. They basically think of humans as monkeys, very murderous, unpredictable, known for psyker powers and kind of extreme elegance, to the point of probably decadence from the propaganda you would know. Like their fall was their own fault, and that's why they failed, because they were doomed to due to that. The Dark Eldar are their scary cousins who have given up on basically all elements of nobility. They run in like poisonous cabals that turn against each other in a secret city. They're known for basically attacking planets as pirates and raiders, where they kidnap, draw slaves, leave nothing but the dead behind. There are no bodies, and they are renowned torturers and people who kind of feast on pain and the souls of their prey. As they continue to age over time, unlike the regular Eldar, this is just some general facts that people might find interesting as opposed to stuff your characters would deep dive, though Nero definitely knows this. The Dark Eldar don't actually wear soul stones like the Eldar do. The Eldar created Slanesh, the god of kind of pleasure and excess, through their society becoming more and more decadent
Too many
over time.
orgies.
Too much space
Oops.
fucking. So they accidentally created Slanesh and the Eye of Terror, at which point they escaped, but all of their souls are fated to be eaten by Slanesh when they die. So the regular Eldari wear soul stones that kind of absorb their soul into a little gem, and then they keep them in like a library that looks like a forest on their planets. The Dark Eldar don't. They eat souls and pain to maintain their lives as long as they can before they are killed and eaten by Slanesh. They are...
Slanesh, the god of pleasure and space.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
Excess. Basically the Hellraiser
Like
god.
Cenobite. Yeah.
100%. And the Eye of Terror, for reference, is the giant rip in space and time that let chaos in.
Yeah.
Oopsie poopsie.
That's where all the Chaos Legions live.
With all
Garnet
of this
space elves.
nightmare information,
Yes.
what is the win condition of this gladiatorial combat? We have the only team surviving.
You have to survive this round.
Ah, fuck. It's not like, okay, white flag, we're the only ones alive. It's over.
I mean, theoretically, if you threw in your flag, you don't know the rules of what would happen if you threw in your flag right now. But you don't have it. Gazzy does, and doing it now would be even weirder.
Yep.
I don't think they're going to rationalize these people out of the arena either. They let them loose.
Yeah, I mean, the Seth, it's worth flagging, because I'll flag this before we get into it so you can weigh this in your mind. Seth does have guns, and there are no shields between the floor and where you're standing is, so Seth or Piper or a warden could theoretically open fire. There could be the odds for psychic intervention, and you all know in your back pocket you do have the Inquisition card. You just technically Nero's the only one with permission to play it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things going on there. but we're in the combat zone. I'm going to argue that this will be a vigilance check for our two fighters because I don't think your instincts can react faster than Eldar. So
also,
straight.
the Eldar are so fucking spooky compared to orcs that there's no way we're cool in this.
No. It's just a straight roll.
Straight vigilance, no difficulty.
Yeah, I got 2 successes there, sir.
Okay.
I got 2 successes, 1 advantage somehow. No.
Okay. Which means, let me just roll this here. With 5 successes and 3 successes, the Cabalites are going first. So again, you're picturing they're probably 7 feet tall, rail thin, moving almost like ballet dancers, only so fast and so coordinated. It is actually unsettling to look at. The way the Ealdari move is alien, even though their forms are very human. It's all segmented armor moving to blade points, very finely built around them in mesh. A solid helmet with a large kind of builds to a point near the back of the skull, so it sweeps back very elegantly with the traditional kind of little, almost the Y shape of the eye slits to the mouth, but it's solid. And they've got long splinter rifles. So as you hear them open fire, there's just the wickering of small projectiles moving through air. If you see them, and I imagine you would, because I think they're going to be shooting right away, not just at you, but near you, they're small bladed splinters with barely above monomolecular in their width and length, razor sharp, that are clearly just through an electromagnetic machine inside it, just coming off of a solid core at an incredibly fast and terrifying rate. So the first one will be running forwards and taking cover behind one of the pillars, and then opening fire on Mina. The Eldar are very, very smart, and she is clearly much scarier than Nero on the scale of things. So they are going after
they haven't read my diary.
Yeah, the big bad up front. Okay, just tracking this. All right, so firing with the splinter rifle.
Fine. That's as intended.
Firing with the splinter rifle, difficulty will be 2. Mina's got her gear, but she is essentially there in the open, so there's no need to add anything else. They moved, so they don't get a boost for attacking. I will use a story point to boost up their fire. Do you want to use one in return? You do have a story point. Up to you.
Just one?
You can only ever spend one on any given.
No, how many do we have?
You currently have 2. You had 1 when this turn started.
Stay alive, man.
All right.
Great.
But I want to save it for Nero.
No.
Okay, we'll use it.
Also, keep in mind, like, tactically, yes, you do. But also, I would argue Sister Mina stepping in front of ammo to prevent Nero from dying is kind of her saving it for Nero.
That's true. All right, we'll do a double story point on that one then. One
all the way
against
across the
and
sky.
1 for. Yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Yes, you're using
we'll
a story
use it.
point.
We'll use it.
Oh, and, yeah, great. I just want to make sure I was still getting it in my brain. All right, let's see what happens. All right, we have 4 successes and 1 advantage. Let me make sure. The advantage is
the good news is that I can block it because I took parry and block.
Nice.
Great. So you have 4. So it will do a total of 10 damage.
Great.
Your soak is
8.
8. So you have 2 left.
And then I will parry it.
And you will parry those, which is great. So that will cost you more strain, correct?
Yes. So I'm down to 6 strain.
6 strain. Excellent. And there's 1 advantage. I'm going to say that they actually throw you off balance.
Okay.
So you're thrown off, which will give a boost die to the next Dark Eldar, which goes to the opposite pillar. So there are 6 pillars in the arena, kind of 2 on either side of their gate, 2 on the either side of yours, and then the central ones.
Mm-hmm.
They've ducked into cover, so they're firing kind of from their positions, 1 on either side of the gate. So the other one is firing because they are super spooky. Mm-hmm. Damage 2, which is good. Moved as well, so there will not be a boost for aiming at this point. It's also Pierce 2, I realized, on their weapon.
Okay.
Which is worth flagging. I think you can spend more.
I parried all of it, though, so it didn't...
So it would be 4. Oh, so you parried 4, so you're still fine.
I parried 4.
Then you're still fine.
Yes.
Because you
so
saw
I parried the extra 2, then.
They would go through soak, but you'd still parry them. So that's
great.
Totally
exactly.
Cool.
Okay, good.
The other one is firing. I will use a story point as well to boost this one. Do you want to use one in return?
No, I'm not actually looking at him. I'm doing
no,
something else.
it's firing on Mina. They're both firing on Mina.
Oh, great.
Yeah, which is it's just good. I mean, how many story points do we have?
You've got enough.
Should we just swap them again? We'll just yeah, that's fine.
Great.
Make these dice rolls spicy.
Exactly. Everybody gets to have some spicy fun here in the Dark Eldar arena.
Oof, my God.
Oof,
Okay,
dupes.
that is 1 success and 2 advantage.
Okay.
This is so much worse than orcs and brats.
Worse than orcs.
So they fire. They
Yes.
only do 7 damage, so that
Okay.
clearly would not get through your soak.
Yeah, but you said it's piercing.
It doesn't matter. They still with the
It didn't do
piercing.
enough.
They only did 7 to begin with, and your soak is 8. So
Okay.
even with their piercing, which is 2, I guess you could theoretically block it if you wished to.
So I'm gonna take 2 though, right?
If so, right now you have 7 damage total.
Mm-hmm.
So it has pierce 2. So
Right.
it's the equivalent of 9. So it'd be 1 more than your soak currently.
Right. So I just take 1 damage then.
If you want to, yes.
I'm gonna do that because I can only parry 1 more time before I am knocked unconscious. So I will take a damage.
That is reasonable. Now let me check a rule. I didn't think it was going to come up, but why is it in the 40K book where nothing's listed?
You've taken
Ryan, I've
damage.
got
I've
a
taken damage.
searchable.
I-
Pervert.
It's his
so
trap
now-
card.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you search toxic for me, Tom?
Yeah, 1 second, bud.
I've been poisoned.
I mean, the short answer is yes.
That
you have
shot is poison. So
Okay.
when this weapon damages a target and bypasses soak, they're forced to roll a resilience check with a difficulty equal to the weapon's toxic rating.
Alrighty. Mina, can you roll me a resilience check against difficulty 2?
Okay.
Because these are
Resilience.
toxic rounds.
Okay. Resilience against difficulty 2. Thank God resilience is brawn and I took it. I have 3 green, 2 yellow, 2 purple.
Yep, let's see what happens.
Nice.
Okay. 5 successes, 1 triumph.
Fuck yeah.
Great.
Fuck
Get out of
yeah.
here,
It's
poison.
an anti-venom suit.
I am going to say you feel the sting of poison from the round. It just, again, I think it's like you get peppered across and one just clips the shoulder where the armor had already been kind of pulled back from the orc. You feel the sting of the poison going through your veins. At the same time, you feel your body react. You start to burst out in that full body sweat kind of way. But then you grit your muscles and your heart rate returns to normal. And I will say from this point onwards, you are immune to the toxic value inside the Dark Eldar guns. So
Oh, hell yeah.
due to determination, your own ferocity, mix of prayer, they
Building
cannot
up
poison
resilience
you.
over years.
Can
Yeah,
that's right.
I
Eye-opening
ask a quick question? Is there advantage kicking around that you could possibly kick Nero's way? Asking literally, not
I know,
figuratively or
yeah.
facetiously.
And
I'm just
this-
wondering if I could get a forward boost.
I can't give it to you, but she could. Yes, I would allow that.
Well, I
'Cause I think
have
if
5
they're
successes.
they're- They're focused on her, so I think by default, Nero, I would give you a
she's
boost
like
because
shielding him. She's just
Yeah,
like
great. Okay, love it.
yeah, you're
whatever
acting
he
unhindered,
needs to
Nero.
do.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, just wanted to
I
clarify
have nothing
for
else to give.
very dumb plan I'm sitting on.
Yeah,
Right, thank you.
the Dark Eldar who fires the shot that pegs her will actually kind of ghost and sprint through the air from their pillar to one more over. So there's one to the left of the gate, and there's one that is now using the central pillar for cover, having moved twice in a turn, ultra fast, due to the ability of power through pain.
Don't care for that.
Cool. Wow.
And they will they inflicted a wound, so they will also aim because they are very fast, especially when being combat effective. That Dark Eldar will aim at Mina. Then we come to Mina.
Oh god.
You have been shot sometimes.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Oh my god. Can I even make it to one of these Eldar?
I would say, yeah, you can make it to one of the pillars. We've kind of established that it's one big trek kind of across. So there is the one
Yeah.
by the gate, or there is the one over to the right that is closer, that is the one who injured you and moved extra fast.
We're just gonna have to go hit the one that's closer. She has nothing else she could do. Being a sitting duck is not going to help in this situation. So
Cool. Yeah.
as
So
loath as
you
she
move.
is to leave Nero, she's just kind of like booking it.
I think they're moving so fast that you almost start to move the moment they break for that pillar, just knowing that's the only
Meet
place they
them
can go to
there.
cover.
Yeah.
So great. What do you want to do?
I just wanna hit it with a sword, because that's all we got. We got one play in this book.
Great. So you come in close, which is good. You've got melee light.
Yes.
So those rolls are what those rolls are. I'm going to say normally it would only account for shooting, but Dark Eldar are so fast that I think we will add a setback for the fact that Dark Eldar can make use of the pillar to avoid your weapon.
Sure.
They get another 3. You're dealing with a tanky one just like you. So 4 setback dice total. The difficulty for this attack will be 3. 3 purple because they moved so quickly in the last turn that it's tough to draw a bead on them.
Yep.
And I will spend a story point to have them be extra dodgy.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. I guess I'll try. I'm gonna upgrade the difficulty to try and hit it with both weapons, because it's the only way we're gonna do.
Okay, then you go to
damage.
difficulty 4, and you have 1 red.
Oh, 4 with 1 red. Okay.
Because there's 3 already, so you have to add another. No, it's 2 red because you do have
That's
the
what I
2
thought.
weapon strike. Yep.
2 red, 2 purple, right?
Yep.
Or what?
Ugh.
Yeah.
2
Okay.
red, 2 purple, 4 setback.
And then a story point.
Yep, that'll give you another yellow.
Can I have, please?
Yep.
Are we
Spend-
at, is that all of our story points now?
You still have 1 left because
I
I
still-
also
still
spent
one?
1.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay. Well, it's 1 green, 4 yellow, 2 purple, 2 red, 4 setback.
Let's see what
God.
happens.
Oh.
Oh, pray to the Emperor. 1 success, 1 threat. That's fair.
Wow,
Okay.
that is still a
Fair.
great
That's
net
all right.
result.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Woo!
I only hit with the chainsword, but that
Ooh.
is okay.
Oh,
Any
God.
landing you walk away from.
I felt that one in my chest.
Yeah.
I don't care for that feeling.
Yep.
All right, so what is the damage of your weapon?
My damage is 9, pierce
9?
1,
Plus your
vicious
success
3,
will take you to 10.
10.
Plus your pierce will just essentially take you to 11, which means you will deal 5 wounds on the Kabbalite warrior. Man, these guys be torf.
Oh, it's gonna be bad.
I will say, with the threat that you rolled, that warrior will have. Do you not know? What I will say is, for that threat, the warrior manages to backflip away from you out of combat and disengage for free at the start of this. So
Okay.
they're very speedy and very kind of dodgy.
Yep. So that's probably it. She probably tried to hit it with the shield and it just backflips and woo, I'm gone.
Yeah. So the sword gets in there and deals a blow that I would say breaks through the mesh armor and clearly scores across the arm and a portion of the chest, but flipping away fast enough they don't get the full killing blow that you had swung, which means Nero. It is your turn. There's a Dark Eldar backflipping away from Mina and another at the gate.
I don't see either of them because I'm looking at the stands. Can I see the other Nero from where I am? Is he near enough that I have a clear visual line on him?
Do you know what? I will say yes, because I think this is now the only game left. So he would have entered the governor's box. So he'll be standing on the far left side of the governor's box, just looking down.
Cool.
So he's the furthest away from your party. Think of it's like he's standing on your right, the left side of the box from internally. The governor's in the middle. Pedes is on the far side, and then it's the owner's box to the sides from there.
Yeah. As soon as the Dark Eldari enter the sphere, I just turn away. I assume Mina has it. I do a full like Lee Pace in The Hobbit, just like a disgusted like ugh, and turn back to the stands. And the whole time this battle is raging behind me, I'm just cranking something onto my bolter. And as I hear the sounds of battle behind me, I just point up at the stands with my grapple gun. And I look at Nero and just say, there can be only one. And then I'm going to fire my grappling gun at Nero's Skullshield. Because you know what? If you're going to bring Xenos to the party, you deserve to attend. So I'm going to attempt to grapple gun Nero Skullshield into our arena pit with us. From the initiation records of Barthas Billingberg. Of course, Abagnale, you must understand that the Confederacy cannot fail. An endeavor of this magnitude and import, it's fragile, and we require every last tendril to do its job. Can you do the job no matter what? Well, of course, sir. You wouldn't have hired me if I couldn't. Ryan, I would like to shoot Nero Skullshield with my grappling gun and pull him into the arena with me.
This sounds wonderful. And by wonderful, I mean unpredictable and confusing in the best possible way. Yeah, let's go for it. I will say let's go with ranged light. I think this would be equivalent to any of the other shots you do. Difficulty 2, he's standing at the front of the box and it is relatively close to the arena. I'm going to say it'll be, difficulty 2 for the range. I'm going to say 3 because you're trying to wrap a person instead of a wall.
To be clear, not hoping to wrap, more so to puncture and pull, scorpion style.
Then
for
2,
Mortal
we'll allow
Kombat.
that.
Thank you. Now, I am trying not to kill him, so if you want to give me some setback and or an additional difficulty for that, I'm not trying to punch him in the chest. I'm trying to get him in like the shoulder or below the ribs.
I think you might have to just, you know what, let's give you 2 setback for that. I think 1 for his armor, and then you know, we'll increase the difficulty by 1. Because here it is. The difficulty will go up by 1 because you're trying not to kill him outright, because there's always a chance of that happening. You get 1 setback for the armor that he's wearing, because you need to punch through it to be able to go. And you get another setback because as the grapple hurtles towards him, it glances off the edge of a refractor field, but the refractor field was only protecting the governor's chair. So you only catch the side of it. It doesn't protect him fully. But
can I ask, Ryan, in my head, so I have a grappling, I have the grapple and everything else. I always imagine firing a grapple either like Batman, where it's like out of the sleeve, or like Luke Skywalker out of his Stormtrooper rifle. In this case, I was imagining cranking it into my bolter and firing it. Is that fair, or are we saying this is out of the sleeve?
No, I like it out of the bolter. I would believe that.
Because I feel like he has the capability, if he's just trying to Batman and or Silent Bob his way out of a situation, to just launch it. But in this case, he wants, and I think this is why I was trying to build the looking away from combat, because he's literally just I have to do this the best possible way. So with that in mind, then I'm going to lose those setback. I'm going to take a boost for aiming, if that's cool with you.
Yep,
I'm not moving
I think
anywhere.
That's totally legal. I will flag whatever your bonus is for your targeter, which is what? Does it just remove setback or does it give you boost?
It removes setback. I get aim would give me a boost, but I can remove 3 setback from attacks with the target.
Okay, I'm going to say because you're turning away from combat, you'll give 2 boosts to any, if the one Dark Eldar that's not over in Swordfight Land decides to shoot you, they'll get 2 boosts 100%. In exchange for you using the targeter with this crank.
Absolutely. Yep. Nero is very aware that he cannot fight these Eldar. So
nice.
Cool. So all of that, Ryan, I think I would also probably pitch a setback that I would argue should ignore the targeter, because I am actively trying to plant to fire this thing.
Okay.
So I have to take a moment. It's basically reverse aiming. In addition to actually aiming it, I also have to lower my, I gotta drop my core a little bit, really clench my my abs. Because the goal is to pull him down, not to go up.
Fair enough. Because you decided to voluntarily take that setback, I will not use a story point on this roll, because that feels like it's a nice balance for me.
Cool. I definitely will spend a story point, though, because I'm a bitch like that. Okay, cool. So I got 4 yellow, 3 purple, 1 blue, 1 black.
Let's see what happens.
Holy fuck.
Get over here.
I was just thinking that.
Oh, baby. 4 success, 2 advantage.
All right. I will say, let me check this motherfucker's soak. Obviously, you succeed. His soak is 4, so perfect. I will say he takes 1 damage.
That makes sense. It like punches into his armor, and then the little bits spike out, not like, in his kidney.
Yeah. And then I will have you roll again. Oh, was it 4 successes? What was it?
4 successes, 2 advantage.
What's your brawn, Tom?
My brawn is 3, surprisingly.
Okay, this is a weird thing, but with your sheer number of advantage and the fact that your brawn is also higher than his plus your advantage, I will say you can yank him
okay, great.
out of that rather than trying to do another roll, because I'm just like, no, every part of this is in your favor. He was not thinking, I'll be shot with a grappling hook. Better be ready to defend against that. Because as far as he knows, you're just a random team of mercenaries.
So he wasn't bracing.
No.
No, I never could have pulled Adam McNamara in, but nor would I have attempted to. I would die for Adam McNamara. That's an easy choice.
This is the weird thing. I knew I would need to put falling damage on my cheat sheet somehow. Difficulty 2 athletics check. Let's find out what happens. Well, it's not playing to his strong suits.
Ryan, can I argue for a boost to him? Because I believe being so surprised might actually kind of be like a drunk person in a car crash where, like, I don't think he's prepped for this. It's not like he's going to put his wrists out.
That is true. I'm also going to spend a story point to give him a little boost, and we'll see what happens with this fall. He succeeds, so he will reduce damage. I will say he's actually pretty combat capable as a rogue trader who leads multiple regiments. So I'm going to say he will just take 1 more damage. So he'll just have taken 2 damage from the whole thing. But he's kind of up, I guess, facing towards you, Nero, having been kind of fallen and then up. What happens now? You did your shoot, so you still theoretically, you did your aim. So you could spend strain to do another maneuver, or was this your whole goal?
Don't need one. I got a free action I believe I'd like to burn, which is just leaning slightly forward and saying, hey, Nero, I'm Nero. I'm Inquisition. You either call this off or I blow up your planet. Cool? And then I'll just lean back.
Ooh.
Nero is going to... okay, that's ballsy, but I don't mind that at all.
I'll take another free action to quietly, as I move back with my hands up, have the rosette in, like, looped over a middle finger and just be leaning back with it, with bolter in one hand, obviously, but up to you.
No, I like the rosette reveal. I'm still going to go with coercion because I think he's not thinking rationally. He just took a long fall.
That's entirely fair.
Coercion. Yeah, I will say difficulty of only 2. I don't think he's tremendously resistant to this idea. I think you're battling with shock and surprise more so than anything else.
Oh, absolutely.
I will give you 2 boost for the rosette because I think he would be able to recognize it as either legitimate or such a good fake that no one will blame him if he's wrong. Carrying a fake rosette is like signing up for the world's most horrible century-long death.
Yeah. Also, like, for a guy who managed to find his way into a gladiator fight that's supposed to be like, it wouldn't track that I'm like, hi, I'm Inquisition. Yeah, I'll go fight in the gladiator games.
Yeah.
I'd have to be loco, which I clearly am. Okay, well, I have trash for coercion. So I'm actually just rolling with 2 green. As I understand it, we should have 1 story point now because you spent 1 for the fall.
Oh, I did spend 1 for the fall. You're right. So you have 1.
Now,
yeah, you can spend
that said, Ryan, I would also buy that you spent 1 of ours for the fall, given that I clearly wanted him alive. So I'll leave that to your discretion. But
yeah, let's just make this a clean roll. Let's just see what happens.
Great. So 2 green, 2 purple, 2 boost. Although I did ask if Mina could pass advantage forward because but you know what? I would have used that on the grapple roll and I forgot. So no. Cool. Let's go. 3 advantage.
3 advantage. Okay, he doesn't shoot you. I will say he turns and fires like a flurry just to keep the Dark Eldar away from like charging towards you. Fuck, but you didn't succeed.
Ryan, if I can make an offer here, because this is a weird
Otherwise, I gotta
roll.
look at some weird charts.
No, and you still can. just to clarify my intent with this, Nero's only goal here is actually to put other Nero Skullshield. So Abagnale's only goal here is to put Skullshield in a position where his life is in active danger, because these Eldari are clearly not going to be like, oh, hey, boss.
Yeah.
The Inquisition piece was meant to gild the lily. The real threat was, you're down here with us now, so like either help us kill these Eldari or call off your stupid game. So I don't know if that helps you, but I don't think that would like necessarily auto win either way. But for context, that's kind of the intent. It's less like, I'm the guy you should listen to and you should stop. It's more like, uh-oh, you're down here with us. Also, I'm this guy and I'll blow up your planet. Okay, good luck.
Yeah, I think what you get from him is he looks at you and says, well, I can't call this off or they'll kill me as well. So I think this is one of those, let's see if you can win this thing together. And he'll just open up on the Cabalite warrior facing off against
just
you.
Over my shoulder, I'll be like, it's a Nero team up, Mina. I'm sorry. I tried.
She's just crowd looking over her shoulder like, what is going on?
And I just like nod at you very knowingly, like all going according to plan. So I slam the bolter back down into my hands and watch him shoot.
Piper and Seth, you are both in the owner's booth of your team, which has now had one of its fighters yank the most useful rogue trader in the system into the arena by shooting him with a grapple. Graswald has actually been grabbed by his security and pulled out, along with Pedes and the others who've all left the area. You two are still in your box. The crowd has begun to pelt your box with just various items from nearby. You realize most of that crowd seems to be wearing, let me just double check that color. Yeah, green, the house that lost earlier. So it may just be people don't want to see you win, but there's clearly a lot of danger going on here. There are security rushing towards the floor of the arena, but you don't know if they're going to stop at the edge and shoot the Cabalites, shoot your team, who do what. What do you want to do?
Seth wants to wake up from this nightmare.
Piper wants to run away. So, we're...
Yeah.
I will point out, Seth, you do have your weapons with you.
Yep.
I would like to try to augment Olianne.
Okay.
To try to give her an advantage. It adds an ability die to a skill check she makes.
Great. So harnessing the power of your mind, you pump up the Sister of Blood, which half the crowd is still cheering for, completely regardless of Nero Skullshield being forced in. It seems like a number of people may have had business dealings with him that didn't go too well for them, so he's not exactly like the favorite of the crowd.
Yeah. So I think, honestly, that's all I can do. I'm not... I kind of consider running for a sec, but I'm like...
Would you order Warden to do anything if you wanted direct combat involvement? Because I want to flag that's always an option for you.
I would be like, Warden, can you I know you want to kill me in the end, so can you just not let everyone else kill me before you get the honor? Thanks.
He looks at you confused. I think he's a man of blunt instructions. Like, you could send him into the arena on your behalf, or he'll just stand here and protect you. That's default for him. To say mechanically, Laura, you could choose to go through this fight as Piper, or you could have Warden jump into the arena and contribute to this fight as Warden.
That's kind of interesting too.
Because the only reason I would allow this... I
prefer that because I was kind of hesitant to use psychic abilities with the Dark Eldar there.
Yeah, I will flag the only reason you're able to do this is Nero is involved in the combat, and Warden would be, because Nero's the interrogator of the team, Warden is aware that protecting Nero in this kind of circumstance is actually more important than safeguarding you.
That's very true. Okay, so let's just undo.
Okay.
I will basically look at Warden and be like, why aren't you helping already? Go.
Great. Now switch your character sheets. You're the mute Warden.
Now I am Warden.
I will add you into the next combat round. You will get to go after the Dark Eldar, but before Mina. So you'll be the first. Warden will be the first party to get to contribute. Seth, what do you do? You are aware, I will flag this, that Gazzy's microphone that lets him speak to the whole arena is still in front of his chair, though that area has been left behind.
Nope, I don't think I can say anything. That'll be like, oh, okay, we get it.
I mean, I am opening my desk drawer to look for a monkey's paw that will allow Tyler to do the Gazzy voice as Seth, because I feel like that would be a true delight.
That's possible. Oh, Seth, could you roll me a perception at difficulty 3?
Where did my mouse go? There we go. Perception, difficulty 3. One success, 2 advantages.
You did see Nero flash the rosette on the floor, so you're aware that he was willing to play the Inquisition card. So if you wanted to, it's not as off the table as it would have been if you hadn't seen that.
Right.
But he did flash it on the inside of his palm.
Yes,
quietly.
He did. Like if they're throwing stuff at us, it seems like they can see us, right? So they can, like the crowd, everyone can see that Gazzy's gone, and it's just me and a hulking man is about to jump down there.
Yeah.
So as funny as that would be, impersonating Gazzy isn't going to do anything other than just be a funny voice.
I couldn't find my monkey's paw anyway, so you're fine.
No, I think what I'm going to try to do is leave. I'm going to hop over to the governor's box.
Yep.
And I'm basically going to peek out the door, and basically I want to see when the guards come to our box's door, and try and basically run out as they like burst in. I want to leave. I want to head down to that ramp that our team came out of onto the arena. I want to get down to the ground where our team is.
Great. I would give you the option of a stealth or a skullduggery to get past the security, because I think it's like you jump boxes, look out the door, and they're kicking in the door to your booth right then. There's not a lot of weight on this.
Yeah. Now
they kick in the door. Piper is sitting there.
Piper is still there. Yeah, I just realized.
Warden has jumped.
I'm thinking Laura's jumped, but Laura is 2 people, so I need to.
Basically, Warden is like running the hurdles. Basically, is what I imagine, like over the seats to get down there. Like very efficient.
It doesn't make sense to leave Piper.
I don't. You know, I might overrule you because I think you were right, which is everybody had a split second to react, and Seth was like, "I need to help the team." So Warden jumped like you, because we've established before you don't all watch each other. So I'd say go for it. I think it's interesting with that.
Okay.
So let's get your stealth
Piper.
roll.
All good.
Warden, can you roll me a resilience check at difficulty 2 or athletics? I would accept either. One is you leapfrog over to athletically get down to to like take the seats and get down coordinated. The other is just tanking a superhero jump.
Yeah, I imagine the athletics would be like you jump off the ledge, grab it, and then like drop 2 feet, as opposed to just Mario leaping.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was the difficulty on my roll?
Difficulty on your roll will
it depend on what I choose as my skill?
Yeah, honestly, yes. Are you thinking it's going to be a skullduggery or a stealth?
I'm thinking skullduggery because it's a pretty cowardly thing to do.
Okay, I will say it is difficulty 3 because it would be harder than just an easy check to go past, but at the same time, it's not harder than 3 because they're arresting Piper in the room, which is...
Because, sorry, I have equipment that I haven't gotten to use yet. And
okay, go for it.
This would actually be one of the times where it makes sense to use it. I have chameleon coating on my armor, which makes me difficult to perceive. I'm not sure how it works like in the lore. I'm assuming it's almost like optic camo, like I just kind of go a little
it kind
shimmery.
of blends into colors around it, gives you a little bit of that,
So I'm going to take off my coat, and I'm just in like my stealth armor. And I've got a built-in data slate as well, I think it's called, into my armor. And I just use that to like key in stealth mode, and I activate stealth mode. And I think I just kind of like stutter visually, and then I'm kind of half there.
Great. What do you say to Piper as you throw your coat at her to disappear?
Stay alive. I'm coming back for that. And I'll just throw my coat.
Beautiful. I will say then stealth with her as a distraction. What does Camellia Line give you?
+2 advantage to stealth checks. I wrote advantage like a D&D player. Fuck.
Nice.
That does nothing for us.
No, it would be boost.
And +2 setback for people detecting me. So it's one thing for me sneaking, another thing people are looking for me.
Well, so we'll do this as an active test just for you because you're trying to get past them. Okay. I will say it is difficulty. I'm still going to stick with 3. I think the boost is a nice balance. It would be higher if they did not have Piper in the box. So when they kick in, they think they've got the owner. Or people jumped into the arena, so you've got a chance to get past. You've got the boost already. I don't think I'd give you any setback. You're coming from another angle. It's really in the hardness of the check more so than anything else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm rolling. 3 advantages.
3 advantage. You get past them and you get towards the ramp, but they are spotting you, and there are a number of them kind of coming after you. So you will have 1 turn to do whatever you need to do. You didn't get away clean, but with the advantage, you still get a chance to act before you most likely get tackled in or shot by security.
Okay.
Warden, what was your result on your roll? It's you, Piper/Laura/Warden.
And you're muted, just a heads up.
Yeah. just let me write this down. I was like totally
it's getting weird.
Was just like, yeah, Warden. Okay. We're waiting for Warden, right?
Warden, what's the hold up?
Okay, I'm sorry. What am I rolling?
It was either a resilience or an athletics at difficulty 2.
Okay. That'll be athletics, a Hondo PP.
Great. So you said you were leaping over the chair, like leaping down the seating?
Yes, hurdling.
Okay. I will give you 2 boost for this roll.
Nice.
And I will do a free difficulty upgrade. So I'm not spending a story point on this, but I think if you're hurtling downstairs towards combat, there should be some built-in risk without it being out of there. So
that's
one
fair.
of 1 purple, 1 red.
Okay.
Can I make an argument for a setback?
Yes, you can.
Why, Tom?
I respect the narrative.
Fuck you.
I feel like if Warden's main fear, despite being, a servant of the Inquisition, is that Piper might get possessed by a demon at any point from the warp, I feel like running away from Piper in a high stress situation would be a little bit like anytime I tie the dog up to go into a convenience store. I'm super stressed the entire time I'm in that convenience store because, like, what if a dog napper was nearby? So I'm just wondering if maybe there should be,
I think,
Warden, I hate that. I hate that.
I agree. Let's add a setback for just Warden caring about Piper in a negative, murderous way.
Yeah.
Sorry, Laura.
The 40K.
No, that's okay. I'm also not actually mad.
I just respect Warden,
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what you get there, Warden.
2 advantages, but 3 failures.
Okay. Warden, you are dashing down the stairs, but Warden is expecting everyone to move rationally in this environment, which is away from combat. Like, don't stay near the zone everyone's running forward towards with shotguns.
Yeah.
However, 2 drunk people, just 1 woman and 1 man wearing purple, like clearly the house that thought they didn't have a chance, are just cheering, and they are actually running down the stairs like to get closer to the front to see everybody fight. And Warden collides with them. And just kind of goes down kind of hard. So I will say, Warden, you take 2 points of unsoakable damage.
Okay.
Just from wiping out down the stone steps. And then you make it to the combat floor. But I will also say that you drop down in the initiative order to go after Nero. So
that's fair.
If it had gone well, you might have got there. But I'm going to add you to my thing.
Okay.
And I'm going to make a note for my main man, Seth. You will just be going last in the combat order because you took kind of the long route to get down to the floor. But now we return. So to set the battlefield picture so everyone can see it, Nero is standing kind of below the governor's box. Other Nero has been dragged down with him with a grapple in his chest. There is a Cabalite warrior on the side of the arena. So if we're looking out from the governor's box, there's Nero. On the left, there's a Cabalite warrior. Then on the right, there is a Cabalite warrior and Mina duking it out. Warden has stumbled down and kind of gracefully wiped out between, I think, the Mina combat and the Neros. Okay. And Seth, you are coming in behind the Neros up the, for lack of a better term, the Hero's Gate, which is cranking open clearly to allow the security that is following you in to come in. And I will say, Piper, you are roughly shoved to the floor, and it's that almost equilibrium style. There's just two shotguns towards your head with like a V as they hold you there, ready to haul you out, but first waiting to see how things develop internally. There are just a storm of purple-clad troopers storming towards the field.
So they did see me.
Yes, they arrested you because your fighter dragged you in. I'm not going to make you roll for that. You're busy sending Warden. And then we come to the combat. I have so many NPCs. All right, so let's see what Nero Skullshield manages to do, if anything, to a Dark Eldar. He has this auto pistol thing. Difficulty's 2 plus the 3. It actually goes. Nope, that was the other one. Oh my god! There we go. Roll dice. Okay, Nero Skullshield manages to pin down a Dark Eldar. He will just give advantage to you, Nero, because he rolled 1 advantage at his turn. So I'll just pass that onwards because I think he's going to live in an NPC land. At which point we shift over to the Cabalite warriors, who realize this is absolutely becoming a shit show. The one that is on the side kind of closer to the Neros is going to take a pot shot at Nero Skullshield, who has come down and was the most recent one to open fire. Their stat. Man, this is great. It's so fucking weird.
Way to sing, asshole.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Okay, so they are
Nero action.
Before
Nero, if you will.
Skullshield gets 1 defense, difficulty 2. They don't get any bonuses for that. Oh, 4 success and 1 advantage, meaning they are doing 10 damage. His soak is 4, which takes him to 6. Firing a series of wickering rounds that punch into Nero Skullshield's chest, then 3 in the throat, 1 in the eye, and 1 puncturing through the center of his forehead. Nero Skullshield, rogue trader of the Artis system, falls dead. At which point the Dark Eldar dashes just at lightning speed. Like Nero there, he gets about 3 shots off and it's just thud, 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 and he's falling, and it sprints from its position in cover to beside you, Nero, and then actually past you, and it's sprinting into the open Hero's Gate in the hopes that it can get out in a way that was not otherwise intended.
Ryan, if I may, as it runs by.
Yes.
And this, we might need a roll for this. I would like to say in Eldari as it runs by.
What?
Speed and freedom, my friend.
Yeah, let's roll some shit for that.
Alternatively, sir, do we have any Ryan, do we have story points available?
You don't currently.
Okay.
But you do you have forbidden lore, Tom?
Yes.
Then yeah, let's roll your forbidden lore and we'll find out how much Dark Eldar you know.
Because I would absolutely spend a story point to be able to say something like that. Which would help no one but me have a good time. All right, so I've got, what is the difficulty on this, sir? I imagine high.
I'm going to say
maybe
4.
Not.
It feels
4?
like difficulty 4 would feel right. What's your skill in this?
I have 1 in forbidden lore, and then I have 3 intellect. So I've got 2 yellow, 1 green.
No, do you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna give you a story point to allow this because I think it's interesting and I think it's not that strange a phrase. Like I think he probably could learn some statements, and usually compliments feel like they'd be in the Inquisition realm. Unless do you think he's Xenos or no? That's the only other question.
Sorry, do I think
is he Ordo Xenos or is he Ordo not?
He isn't, but here's my pitch.
Okay.
Why don't I give you 4 strain for the 4 difficulty you were going to give me?
That would be great. Let's do that. Or what's your total strain?
11.
Great. Let's just burn 6 of it. We'll just say 6 strain sold.
Yeah. Because I'm definitely not Ordos Xenos, but also I'm mind cleansed. So
we don't know what you've dealt with before.
Yeah.
Cool. No,
so I'm
I'll
also shocked. My eyes are wide as my lips form this heretical Xenos language. But it really is it's not. I've got my hands on my gun, so I'm not really doing this. But it's the equivalent of like a Godspeed Knight of Tomorrow, like pat on the back on his way by. Like I'm all in for this Xenos freedom. Apparently.
Great. They're going to keip going for it. Just bolting for the gate past you and fully down, which leads us to the other Dark Eldar who would they make a break as well? I think if they saw their other fellow making a break, they are smart enough that they would make a break for it. They would take a shot at Mina, I think, on the way past. So let's see, swinging in with a monomolecular sword, just slinging the rifle, which actually they throw in the air and it magnets down and clangs onto their back. They draw a curved and serrated, almost Kopesh style blade that you would see, the old Egyptian swords, and dashes in towards you as they swing past. So they are. Your setback is 4 because you are super armored. It is a check for 2. And let's see what is there anything we want to add? Yeah, me. I want to add. Only I have story points. I will spend a story point to give them an upgrade. They 2 success and 1 threat. The damage is 7. I'm gonna and your soak is 8.
Yes.
No, it manages to get past your shield and slice a rent through the armor over your chest towards your armpit, but they just miss flesh. The chain is just enough to stop it as they dance past. And they are going to make a break for the gate as well. They won't get inside it, but they will get kind of to the gate. The other Eldar has gone deeper, which leads us to Mina.
Oh, man. So now that all the chaos is going on and Nero's Skullshield got destroyed, she is running towards her Nero to just basically run towards him and then kind of grab and shield him, and then as soon as the gates open, she's going to take him with her that way.
I think
she's just shielding him.
I think the gates are open, so
we're running away.
How much strain do you have right now?
I have 6 left.
Great. You can burn 2 strain to get an additional maneuver, which would allow you to double move. So I would say you could move, pick up Nero, and move him into the Hero's Gate if you wanted to. Yep.
We're just going there. Hopefully basically, she realizes that the guards are kind of coming in and lots of gunfire is probably going to happen. So she's trying to just keep him in near her under the shield. And then whoever's gunfire it is, we're just going to try to mosey with that in place.
Great. You do so. I'm imagining, unless Nero, would you resist being essentially picked up and carried out?
Not at all. My only goal was to get us out of this. So just the death of other Nero was enough for me. I am disappointed the lightning didn't fill me and give me his power. But beyond that, no, absolutely. I am limp. But I'm holding the rosette real close because I feel like if we encounter resistance, that's a real quiet, like whisper, like a Hail Hydra anytime we see someone who's going to try and murder us. Because if I were them, I would try and murder us. So I'm just standing by to Hail Hydra anyone I need to.
Yeah. Okay, and she's like panting hard and still carrying him, but like during all this, she would turn to like not look at him because she's paying attention to what's going on, but she would be like, "Are you injured, sir?"
And I've got just a big old smile on my face, and I say, "I feel your wounds as my own." So yeah, a little bit, but no, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be just fine. Confederacy takes care of its own.
And you both have
I are going to be fine.
You have a surreal Superman in the Flash moment where you realize you are running out of a place kind of side to side with a Dark Acolyte warrior. Just both of you are running, look over and see the other, and then fuck it, keep running like nobody's...
we have other business to be doing than fighting each other right now.
Yeah, it's like the end of the Rocketeer. You know, gangsters and cops can shoot Nazis. It's good.
Yep. Warden, you have landed in the sand of the arena at last, lightly injured but present. You, I believe, have some medical skills. So you have kind of two large options here, which is you could follow the party into the tunnel to make sure that they get through or deal with whatever there. You imagine security, you know there are Cabalites. The other thing is you're the only member of the team present who could theoretically try to stabilize Nero's Skullshield if you think that would be of value to the party.
I don't have medical stuff written on my sheet.
Fabulous. And you don't have that.
Yes.
You almost did when I drafted you at one point. Lesson learned.
But Ryan, I think your instinct's right. Warden could potentially try and stabilize someone without the skill.
I could do a Medicaid check.
Yes, if you wanted to do that, that would be an option.
I got an offer. Can I roll a perception to see that Warden dropped in? Because I feel like if I saw Warden show up, I would probably have opinions. And I suspect, Warden, you would likely also be looking for... Like, you dropped in to save the Inquisition, but the Inquisition is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody anticipated that gate opening, I think, was the challenge. Yeah, let's roll a perception, Nero, and we'll say that this was your turn, because I had you being carried, but I think this would be your chance to yell a one-sentence order on your way out.
Free action if I can.
Take it as a free action. I think you'd spot it.
Well, no, I think it's still worth rolling, though, because I don't know if I would notice, because I'm talking to Mina as I'm being pulled away, and I'm more worried. I'm legitimately very concerned about her health. Ryan, is maybe the way to play this figuring out, Laura, what, like, should the difficulty be Warden's perception? In terms of, like,
Warden took 2 damage. Let's make it the damage. So it'll be 2 damage and 1 setback because he was delayed from when he wanted to arrive originally, and that'll be the difficulty.
Okay, I like that. Great. So 3 difficulty. And then I have 2 yellow, 1 green. Laura, I guess maybe a question for you is, Warden serves the Inquisition. Warden is doing what Warden thinks is best for the Inquisition, but in a moment where you aren't taking direct orders, how much would you be looking for direction, do you think? Like, would you actually... Like, I guess what I'm looking for is this we're trying to make eye contact with each other so we can communicate, or would you just kind of be doing your thing?
Well, because Warden wants to ensure that, like, Nero and Olianne stay alive, he's actively looking to you.
All right, great.
Because he's looking for, like, threats to you.
Gotcha.
So he's very aware.
I think that's an argument for a boost, for sure.
Okay, cool. All right, let's see if I notice you enough to tell you things. 3 success, 3 threat.
You get to say something. Warden, you will interpret it as a combat order of, like, some kind of attack, threat, whatever that is. So even if it's protect this person, you'll misinterpret it that way.
I will yell, or I guess hiss, because I imagine Warden is pretty good at, like, lip reading and taking quiet orders. I will mouth at Warden, in the name of the Inquisition, save Mina.
You have to misinterpret that in some combat kind of way there, Warden.
Sorry, Laura.
Leave the misinterpretation up to you.
Up to me? Oh, fuck. I don't know. I don't know this character yet.
I have an offer.
Please, I am very, very willing.
Sad Tyler has an offer.
Oh, no. Here we go.
Save Mina, protect Mina from, like, anyone. And I don't know what kind of kit Warden's rolling with, but maybe if he just stands at the mouth of that ramp and fires down the hall that Mina is escaping through, eliminating the armed enemies that are running into the hall. You know,
there we go.
The guards and invisible Seth.
Great, let's do that. So Warden will run towards the mouth of the tunnel, ready to open fire. Warden, can you roll me, let's say a perception? Difficulty. Oh, no. Do you know what? I want this to be simpler because I want it to be one, the other. Can you roll me a d6? I will tell you now.
Sure.
On a 5 or a 6, you shoot a Cabalite or add a Cabalite. On a 3 or a 4, you shoot some of the incoming guards who are coming in behind Seth. On a 1 or a 2, you will shoot Seth.
Oh, dear.
What can I say, Seth? We just haven't determined if our companions are worth saving.
Let's do this.
Oh, I see. That's a callback.
Oh, I'm sorry, Seth. That's the one.
All right, Warden, can you roll me a melee light?
Melee light.
Or sorry, ranged light is what I mean.
Ranged light, right.
Because you've got your hell pistol.
Oh, I'd have to be so good in ranged light.
I have defense 2, if that matters.
It is difficulty 2. Defense 2 will matter at range. That means you had 2 setback, Warden.
Yeah.
I am going to give you 1 boost because Seth is currently ready to defend against the guards behind him or the Cabalite warriors coming at him. He's not geared up for, Warden will shoot me. And I'm going to use a story point to increase one of your... Oh, wait, you're shooting at him. No, that's... Fuck, how does that work? No, actually, I'm going to upgrade one of your die to a yellow. That's how I will spend my story.
No, you jerk.
Ryan, do we still have story points?
You have 1 story point you could spend to...
Because Laura...
I will upgrade the difficulty.
Smart.
Oh, this is weird.
Yeah, this roll is going to be the most confusing one we've ever rolled.
We're in upside
Okay,
down
are we
land.
ready?
Yeah, let's see what happens.
No, 3 successes.
How much damage does that pistol do there, Warden?
8.
8. So 8 goes to 11. Is it Pierce?
It's Pierce 3.
Okay,
So
what's your
Pierce
soak there, Seth?
My soak is 4.
4. So we go from 14 down to 10. So it's 10 wounds. What's your threshold there, Seth?
It's all right. It's 10. So I die.
No, you don't.
So
no, I begin the process of death and dying as outlined in this cheat sheet.
Oh my god! Can I see this happen?
Yeah. So Warden comes to the top of it, and to protect Mina, raises his hell pistol stoically and fires down at what appears to be the deadliest target. Blurring, blending. It must be a Cabalite, and that Cabalite is the one heading for Mina and the Interrogator. Opening fire with his hell pistol, the Warden's shot is perfect, taking the target directly in the chest, burning through the armor with the full power of the energy system built into his body. It punches through the armor and through Seth's left lung, bowling him over backwards as he falls. Security forces storm in and open fire in a wave.
This episode of the Valentyne Heresy features Tom McGee at McGeeTD on Twitter as Interrogator Nero Abagnale, Laura Elizabeth at EL Hamstring on Twitter as Piper Fairley, Tyler Hewitt at Tyler_Hewitt on Twitter as Seth Corbyn, Del Borovic at Del Borovic on Twitter as Sister Olianne Mina, and our Game Master Ryan LaPlante at the Ryan LaPlante on Twitter. This episode was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and the Valentyne Heresy's show logo was created by Decapitated Markers at Decapitated Marker on Twitter, that's MRKR. Our theme song is The Hordes by Megan McDuffie, and our ads use the tracks No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR, provided by freemusicarchive.org. When it comes to Dum-Dums and Dice, you can visit our website at dumdumdice.com. Our Twitter and Instagram are at dumdumdice, and on Facebook at facebook.com/dumdumdice. We have merchandise available at redbubble.com/people/dumdumdice, and most importantly, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/dumdumdice. That's DUMBDICE. Ave Imperator, and death to all the heretics.
Dum-Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time: Christian Menicola, the Half-Blind Prophet, Christopher Little, Sue One, George Dolby, One True Artistry, Orion Birchfield, Lorda Bradovic, Noel Lewis, Scott Garland, Anthony Griffin, Jordan Neesmith, Benjamin V, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Cade Peters, Richard Cranium, Anna Zed, Eric Williams, Logan Fire Unfriendly, Acrix, Cameron Ezel, Grandma Likes D&D, Austin Nut Powers Fry, Stabby Stranger, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.